And now, the Erickson Countdown continues.
Crowd still rolling into the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. They're expecting close to 60,000 here today, and they're hoping that the Falcons can get on track. You see, the Niners have scored better than 30 points each and every time these two teams have met the last 10 games. And in the 90s, Atlanta in odd years has won at home in this series. Steve Mariucci, 41 years old, his first season running the 49ers. And in his 17th year coaching in the NFL, Dan Reeves, his first in Atlanta. Byron Hansbard takes the kickoff as the Falcons won the toss, elected to receive. And he brings it out to the 21-yard line, where the Atlanta offense will put it in play. Chris Chandler, in his 10th season, holds the NFL record for starting a game at quarterback for 6 different teams. Up front, Whitfield and Willig on the tackles. Tobeck and Williams, the guards. And Calvin Williams, the rookie at center. His hands are full today. Anderson and Christian in the backfield. Mathis and Emmanuel, the wide receivers. And a very impressive rookie tight end, O.J. Santiago. First and 10, Atlanta the play fake, and Chandler comes out throwing. And he overshoots the intended receiver, Terrence Mathis. Talked about the 49ers, the #1 ranked defensive team in the NFL. And the names tell the story. Dolman and Barker, the ends. Stubblefield and Young in the middle. Norton, Plummer, and Woodall, the backers. And a terrific secondary. The former Falcon, Darnell Walker, in for the injured Marquez Pope. He joins Woodson on the other side. Hanks and McDonald's, the perennial All-Pros, are the safeties. Second down and 10, Atlanta from the 22. Mathis in motion. And the give is to Anderson, and he is met maybe after picking up a yard.
49ers are a quick start team. When they get on offense, usually their first possession, they go right down the field. Atlanta's got to get off to a quick start to negate that. They also must get hits on Steve Young when it's their time to go on defense. As he goes, everyone knows this offense goes. Right. Atlanta's got to stay out of those long second, third down situations. That's when we saw the pass on first down. They're trying to loosen up that front four. You get in those obvious passing situations with some young people on the offensive line for Atlanta and some injuries. You got to deal with, like we said, Stubblefield and Young down in front, and they could be a terror.
3 wide receivers check in on a 3rd and 9, and they're coming after Chandler. Good protection, and has a man down the field and through the hands of Michael Haynes.
Michael Haynes represents the deep threat, which they haven't been able to use. He's been injured. They tried it twice on that side now, and he actually had a step or 2 steps on Tyrone Drakeford. This ball touches his hands. He's got to come up with that catch. You can't put it any better. The protection was great up front. He gets a look downfield. Those are the kind of big plays that the Falcons are going to have to make, because now they're going to punt away and put the 49ers on offense for their first possession. We talked about how dangerous they can be in their first possession.
Straczynski, one of the best punters in all of football. Owezike, a fair catch called for, and handles it cleanly at the 29-yard line. 47-yard punt for Straczynski. So now it'll be Steve Young, 36 years old, out of Salt Lake City. Had the concussion earlier in the year against Tampa Bay, his 3rd in the last 12 months. But he has been unbelievable since then. 9 touchdowns since that game, 1 interception. They made a number of changes up front, notably Dolman at center and Derek Deese, a left tackle. And on the backfield, Hurst and Floyd, Stokes and Owens, the wideouts. Clark, the rookie out of Stanford, a tight end, replacing Brent Jones. And immediately they find Terrell Owens, and that's the man you were talking about. A gain of close to 8. Defensively for Atlanta, they have played much better this season. Talked about the front four. Smith with 5 sacks in the game last week against New Orleans. Linebacking core, Jesse Tuggle twice has led the NFL in tackles. And a secondary, a revamped secondary. Bradford, Buchanan, the corners. Bush and William White, the safeties. 2nd and 2. Harrison Hurst cuts it back to the inside. A first down out to the 42-yard line.
You saw right off the bat there, Steve Young passing on that first down play. He's always said all along, I want to pass on first down. That hasn't always been the philosophy of the team. But you see what it does. You open the defense up. Now you come with a run play. And when it's time for them to pass, what everybody talks about is trying to get pressure on that guy right there, Steve Young. You have to hit him. You have to hit him early.
They give it to Hurst, and he lost his footing. He had a big hole, a chance to break it to the outside, and actually was tripped up by his own man, Greg Clark, who was falling forward, a gain of 2.
And then you look at the 49ers up front. They bring in Ray Brown, big Ray Brown, I should say, in the offseason. Gogan on the other side, the 2 guards. I mean, you're talking about serious 300-pounders. That kind of tells you what the 49ers have in mind. And it just so happens with Jerry Rice out, they've been able to go and depend more on those guys to help the run game.
Second down and 8, and blocked. In the backfield behind the line of scrimmage is Garrison Hurst. And the first man there to meet him, Chuck Smith, a loss of 3.
Look at all these guys on the line of scrimmage. And you can tell they are trying to blitz to stop the run. You bring that many guys, if you don't make the tackle, there's lanes all the way downfield. But that's a good play by the defense. Chuck Smith talked about him.
Well, that game he had last week, we talked about it earlier, forced 3 fumbles and 5 sacks. And now 3rd and 11 for the 49ers. Young in trouble, gets away. Heading for the sideline, and he'll be shy of the first down. Run down by Cornelius Bennett in midfield. So 3 and out, rather, after a first down.
They're getting into drama over there on the sidelines. They thought that was a late hit. Kind of pulled Steve Young down at the end there. He was well out of bounds. And, you know, that is not where the 49er brass wants to see Steve Young, out of the pocket running and not getting down on the ground. You can see he's going to be well out of bounds. Cornelius Bennett here. I don't know if his momentum could help from pulling him down.
He's holding
on. Pressure on that play. Chuck Smith, the outside, causes Young to flush out.
So now the punt, Tommy Thompson. He got a foot into that one, and it will sail into the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, a 50-yard punt by Thompson. So the 49ers get a quick first down, and then finally have to punt it away. No score in Atlanta. No score, 11-11 left to play here in the opening quarter. And Ronnie, you were saying a moment ago in the commercial break, a big defensive stand right from the get-go by Atlanta.
Well, I think that's huge for Atlanta. You know, they allow first downs, but they get the 49ers off the field in the first possession without a score. Niners have been deadly on their first possession lately.
First and 10 from the 20. They give it to Anderson, and he's dropped for a 3-yard loss. Parker was there, along with Lee Woodall.
You talk about the defensive line playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. I want you to watch the 49ers up front here. That's Stubblefield right there. On the other side of him, Young. They're going to get on the other side. Look, they're just holding people up and reading. Jamal Anderson's got no place to go. That's called a stalemate. When you're that strong that you can just take your man, jack him up.
Talked about the rookie Calvin Collins making his 4th start. His first was against San Francisco. And here they come after Chandler. And he gets it away through the hands of Jamal Anderson. And on the safety blitz, Tim McDonald took Chandler to the turf.
49ers feel like they can match up very well on the outside with these receivers. They're not going to be afraid to take people down and blitz. Right in there. There's McDonald. He's going to sneak in here. And they got to try to account for him, and they don't. You see Jamal Anderson, he tries to leak out. The other back, Christian, never even looks. Look at Christian. He should be over trying to block on McDonald. And these are the 3rd and longs that they wanted to try to stay out of, especially in your own part of the field. Now you got Kevin Green in the game right there.
On 3rd and 11, Green trying to come around the corner. They drop it off. Anderson hangs on. First down across the 30 and more. Shoved out of bounds at the 41-yard line by McDonald. So Atlanta cashes in on the 3rd and 11.
Give the credit to the quarterback there. Chandler finds a way to come out of the pocket. Green's going to come around and actually force the scramble. But there's Jamal Anderson. He's going to leak out, and then Chandler does a good job of finding it. Boy, I tell you, that's a dangerous throw right down low. That's what they talked about in the pregame show. The defensive linemen get their hands up. They can knock that down, but good alertness by Jamal, knowing his quarterback's on the move. Once again, good job by Chandler.
McDonald just left the game. He took a seat over on the far sideline and in to replace him, the rookie Zach Bronson. Guy on the ground this time to Bob Christian. And he picks up close to 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. So McDonald over on the bench.
Well, he hurt his shoulder last week against the Rams. And I know that thing's been a little bit sore. That could be the problem there. We're not sure. I don't want to speculate. But Zach Bronson comes in to take his place. He's a rookie. Don't be surprised if they try to test him out.
Yeah, McDonald actually had a painkiller injection before the game last week and was able to play.
Those are always fun.
Now the shotgun, they hand it to Jamal Anderson, and that didn't fool anybody. He maybe picked up 2, and the man to read it, Gary Plummer, in his 12th season out of Cal.
Yeah, you know, it's too much speed in the linebacking core of the 49ers, especially that guy right there, Gary Plummer. You're going to hand this ball off like this, going all the way from the right side of the field to the left. Look at people are running already. That doesn't work in the NFL. There's too much speed. That's called perimeter support. Pursuit and perimeter support. How about that guy there? 12 years in the league. Has a hip condition which may or may not be solvable in the near future, but he's showing no signs of it, is he?
3rd and 6, they barely get it off. Again, pretty good protection. Chandler throws, and was a catch made? Yes, it was, by Michael Haynes at the 47. Good enough for a first down, a gain of 9.
Boy, that's about as good a coverage as you can have, and probably about as good a catch as you can make. That's looks like one-on-one coverage here with Drakeford. But watch as he got a little holding going on there. That's a nice catch there. He catches that ball with one hand in spite of being held.
Great work by our crew to bring in that one-handed grab right there by Haynes. Santiago in motion, and they pitch it to Anderson, cuts it back all the way across the field, and now has room. Back to the inside, and he brings it down to the 39. Merton Hanks finally able to run him down after a gain of 7.
You know, you don't expect a big guy like this to be able to cut back on you. I mean, Jamal Anderson about 5'11". I think he's hovering around 240, 245. But this is just over pursuit. Look at all the white shirts over there. And that's great vision by Jamal Anderson. You can't teach it. You just have to feel that you got openings in the back to be able to cut back on. That's what all great backs are able to do.
Tim McDonald, we're told, sprained the same shoulder that's been injured coming into the game. And his return is questionable as Anderson tries to run it off the left side. And is shy of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. And we don't know if McDonald will be back or not. A 6-time Pro Bowler.
Well, with McDonald out, I think that limits what you can do with your strong safety. I mean, he's a guy very active back there. They use him a lot in the blitz packages. You saw earlier coming in and making a play on a blitz. Not that they don't have the confidence in Zach Bronson, but he is a rookie. And you just want him to get in the game and get comfortable first before you start throwing a lot of stuff at him. But you can believe Atlanta might try to throw a lot of stuff at him.
3rd down and a yard. They're going to throw, and a safe throw. Completion to Brennaman, good enough for another Atlanta first down. They have it down at the San Francisco 27-yard line.
You're seeing a nice mix of run-pass by Atlanta. You're also seeing a lot of formation, some movement. They're doing that to try to get guys out of that tackle-to-tackle box on defense, the run box. They want to avoid those 8-man fronts that people have been showing a lot on Jamal Anderson. Darnell Walker over there, he was once with Atlanta as a cornerback, so look at that driving. That's a nice mix. That's what we're talking about right there.
Again, Santiago in motion. Again, they
pass.
And he's looking to throw. And the left-hander turns it loose, has a wide open man. Touchdown, Emmanuel. No penalty flags on the
Falcons' arsenal a long time. We saw it in practice. But in fact, the last time we saw that thing was first game of the season back in Detroit. It's going to be a pitch this way, but I want you to watch what happens downfield. The safeties have to stay back. And this is the advantage of having a big guy like Jamal, who's a big force to run. You don't believe he's going to throw it. Plummer recognizes it. He tries to get back.
Point after good by Morton Anderson. And the Atlanta Falcons, who are thrashed by the 49ers in their first meeting, have a 7-0 lead. Who is that quarterback? Jamal Anderson to Emmanuel for 6.
Brennaman working on Donnell Walker up top. Now I want you to watch what these guys do as the play develops. Watch Merton Hanks here. He's going to freeze it. These guys are completely fooled on the throw. That is just a good sell by Jamal Anderson of letting the guy clear, getting down the field and then throwing the ball.
Chuck Levy brings it out to the 30-yard line. And that's where he's tackled by Craig Sauer after a 28-yard return. So Anderson hooking up with Emmanuel. 7-0 Atlanta lead opening quarter.
Here's a touchdown throw by Jamal Anderson. Now watch the way he floats out there. You can tell at this point he's not serious about running. And there's what he's waiting on. Brennaman to clear. And he's patient. I like that, Tom. You know, he's showing some patience back there in the pocket, I guess, or outside the pocket. And if I'm Merton Hanks, I might bite on that too. This guy's 240 pounds, getting ready to come around the corner. And he wasn't the only one. There was about 3 other guys that bit. That's a tough play when you're used to seeing a big running back.
They went 80 yards in 10 plays on the drive. Young right up the receiver. And the catch is made, poorly thrown by J.J. Stokes. All the way down to the 40. If that throws on the money, he's gone.
That's how a championship caliber team answers after an opponent score. You're going to come here. Now, he looks to his right. It's not there at the last minute. Great vision by Steve Young. He just walks right by Devin Putt. We talked about at the beginning of the game. Stokes stepping up. If that ball's better thrown, he walks it to a touchdown.
Gain of 30. William Floyd, his first carry, and he bangs his way down to the 35. Broke a tackle from Cornelius Bennett, picked up 6.
William Floyd banging away. He got mad at me the other day. He said, hey, last game you said that I was coming back from a knee injury. No, I'm not coming back. I'm back. So I said, okay, so I expect you to see you doing some pounding like you did there, huh? He said, yeah.
And when he talks, you better listen.
You better listen.
Hey, man, they're pulled! They pulled here!
Back to Garrison Hurst. He's close to a first down. Needed to get to the 30, depending on the spot, met by Bennett and William White.
The 49ers are running the ball more than they ever have, and it's twofold. Number one, they've done it to try to help the young guys get up to speed. We're talking about the wide receivers, Stokes and Terrell Owens. But also, we talked about the 2 big guards coming into the game. Dogan, Ray Brown. You can't help but be a little bit better running team than they're on.
3rd and less than a yard. Lloyd spins off a tackle inside the 20 to the 10 and pushed out of bounds at the 9 by Devin Bush.
Great spin, great vision by William Floyd. You're going to see a collision on the left side of your screen here, but watch the way Floyd spins out of it. Tuggle on Hurst. That's not the kind of matchup you want, but that's a good job by William Floyd of getting out and then putting a stiff arm and trying to make a play.
And Ronnie,
they got a guy down.
That's Garrison Hurst after delivering that block.
I mean, that's your halfback. Your ideal world, you don't want your halfback leading in on the middle linebacker. Although Garrison Hurst has done a pretty decent job of blocking in the past, but he gets rocked on that play. Watch right here. You're going to see a train wreck. That's Jesse Tuggle. He makes a living doing this. I bet you Garrison Hurst gets a little extra foam put in that pad when he goes to the sideline.
Garrison Hurst already bothered with a bad shoulder coming into the game today.
And that didn't help him.
No, it didn't. He's still down on the field. Hurst has been remarkably productive for these 49ers. Came over as a free agent after 1 year in Cincinnati. A native of Lincolnton, Georgia, and played at the University of Georgia.
But considering the running start that Jesse Tuggle had, Hurst actually held his ground pretty good. Wow.
Well, the 49er running game, by and large, has been absent since the departure of Ricky Waters. And you see Hurst, the most productive back since Waters' start in 1992 with his 460 rushing yards.
And then you talk about the 49ers in the red area, how productive they've been.
Kirby in to replace Hurst, who's down to the 5. That'll bring up second down and goal after a gain of 4.
The difference in the good teams and the teams that are just the average ones are how you think when you get down and you're close. And the 49ers have been good at keeping their whole offense on the field and running everything they run out in the middle, and that forces the defense to try to make plays, and a lot of times puts them in bad situations.
Owens in motion, young throw, and it's broken up. He had an eye on Terry Kirby, and coming up to make the tackle, Bronny Bradford. He broke it up. Actually, Floyd, the intended receiver. Pardon me.
This has been the part of the field in the past where Steve Young has looked to Brent Jones. Now, he doesn't have a Brent Jones. He's got a Greg Clark, who's a rookie, who caught a touchdown pass last week. But talking to Steve Young last night, because I try not to think about the fact that Brent Jones isn't there, because I started thinking about a lot of other bad things. Now, he's been the security blanket a lot of times in this situation.
Third and goal. To the end zone. Touchdown, Terrell Owens.
Wow, that looked easy.
He beat Bradford.
One big play to J.J. Stokes. They run the ball. They get a great run by William Floyd. And all of a sudden, we talk about how good they are in the red area, and they're in the end zone.
49ers have now scored in 313 straight games. They have not been shut out in 20 years and a week.
And that's without Jerry Rice.
Right. Point after is good by Gary Anderson. So after a touchdown pass, Anderson to Emmanuel. Young answers, finding Owens. We're tied at 7.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Mazda. Come see what happens when a car company has more engineers and fewer accountants. Mazda.
7-7 game opening quarter. Terrell Owens catching his 5th touchdown pass of the season. He had 2 in the win over St. Louis last week. Byron Hansford takes it from his own goal line, crosses a 15, and still on his feet out to the 21. Steve Mariucci. They go over the game plan, a play that may work down near the goal line, and here you go. His reaction to the developments, nothing to it. All right, let's kick the extra point.
It's about a 2-centimeter vertical right there. Right. On a bigger pass play, I think he'll get even higher.
2:15 remaining in the opening quarter. Jamal Anderson and Byron Hansford in the backfield together for the first time today. They send Anderson out as a wide receiver, and that one nearly intercepted.
Yeah, you know what you had?
Was Barker. Right now, McDonald's game break time. Let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Thom and Ron, Carolina capitalized on a Danny Werfel pick as Kerry Collins throws a screen pass to Anthony Johnson. Nice blocking, nice moves, touchdown Panthers. They lead at 10-0 over the Saints. Back to Atlanta, Thom and Ron.
All right, JB, thank you very much. 7-7 game here, 2:11 to play in the opening quarter, second down and 10.
Look at the 8-man front up here. There's McDonald standing on the line of scrimmage. They're looking for run. There it is. That's exactly why you do that.
All the way back to the 9-yard line. Anderson is dropped by McDonald.
Boy, McDonald hurt that shoulder or whatever again. Looked like he's holding his wrist. you know that thing is just really sore. He just can't get a hit on it. Top of the screen. I mean, he comes down and he makes it an uneven matchup for the offensive line. With the quarterback not a blocker, you got 7 blockers versus 8 men. You can't block it. You can't account for that extra guy right there. And that's why plays like a halfback pass from a big guy like Jamal Anderson are so effective, because everybody is thinking you're going to run.
Looked like Brian Young fell on top of McDonald's shoulder just as he was finishing off the tackle on Anderson.
Brian Young comes down on top of him. That's a 300-pounder hitting that shoulder. I don't know if he did it then or on the tackle, but McDonald's starting to walk off now.
Well, McDonald left earlier in the game, did return for that first play of this drive, and now he leaves again.
That's why a guy like Mike Haynes in your offense is so key, because he's a speed guy. He represents your deep threat. And if you can get him the ball, you can force people not to gamble on you and come down with a strong safety and make 8-man fronts. You make that strong safety have to stay back there and cover the pass.
And now 3rd and 15 after the loss of 5. And Haynes checks in as a 3rd receiver. To the top of your screen. Isolation play down here and reaching for a first down. Very close to it is Bert Emanuel.
It depends on how they mark that. I can't tell from here.
I think you got it.
What an effort by Bert Emanuel. Bert Emanuel has been what everybody thought Terrence Mathis would be this year. He has stepped up. He's become the go-to guy. And the coverage, once again, a good jam by Tyrone Drakeford. But the ball's underthrown, and a lot of times they'll do this. They'll refer to it as a fade stop. They'll throw it like that because they know the cornerback has his back turned to the quarterback.
They needed 13. They picked up 15. First down at the 32. And again, Chandler to throw. Pass is caught by the tight end Santiago, and what a great story he's been. And they think he's going to be quite a player, a 3rd-round draft pick out of Kent State.
Santiago's a guy in training camp. He came in and has proven himself as a blocker, but he dropped a lot of balls in practice. He gets in the game, he doesn't drop anything. And a lot of coaches can't understand it. He's a guy that you have to really look at on game film, on game day.
And he's a big one, 6'7", 267 pounds.
Yeah, none of those numbers are lies. That's all real stuff.
Chandler finding a little time, rolling right, fires across the middle, and there is Mathis, first down into San Francisco territory to the 49. Boy, Atlanta very impressive offensively here in the opening quarter against the #1 ranked defensive team in all of football. End of the first quarter, Dan Reeves and company hanging in there. We're tied at 7. Thom Brennaman, Ron Pitts back in Atlanta. 7-7 game at the end of the opening quarter. The Falcons were getting blown out the last time at the end of the quarter against San Francisco, but you like the way they mixed it up.
Well, they've done a good job offensively of using big formations, 3 wide receivers. What that does is it makes the 49ers have to spread out. And you can see the 49ers defensively, they're using the safeties. They're trying to cheat them down to stop that run, and they paid the price for it a little bit in the secondary and some good pass plays.
Well, the big play, of course, was Jamal Anderson. Took the pitch and then looked to the end zone and found Bert Emanuel for the first score of the game. And he even took a shot at the end of this play, Anderson did.
Yeah. You know what? His quarterback rating just skyrocketed. That's a heck of a throw.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to go in and try to renegotiate.
And now we move to the second quarter. 1st and 10 at the 49er 49. And Chandler zips it in there, in and out of the hands of Bert Emanuel. Rod Woodson on the coverage. It should have been caught.
Great play by Rod Woodson there. I thought Emanuel had both hands on that ball. He's going to run the quick slant route. You're going to see Woodson hang on the outside, but you see the way Woodson slaps with that upfield arm? That is picture perfect. That's what a veteran does. You don't slap with the inside, because if you miss, you don't have anything to tackle with. He comes with the upfield shoulder and makes a great play on the ball.
The Atlanta getting it done through the air. Only 7 rushing yards in the first quarter. And they'll throw again on 2nd and 10. Great protection. Chandler, and just does overthrow Emmanuel.
Well, everybody talks about they like the fact that Chandler can throw the deep ball, but unfortunately, they haven't been able to keep him off the ground long enough to throw it. And they're so far out of their game plan. The best thing for the Falcons, are still in the game, but watch how close this ball is. And that's the beauty of having Merton Hanks back there in your secondary. He came in the league as a corner. He went back to safety. Tell you, that's close. Those are the kind of big plays they need.
Chandler has been very good today on 3rd down. In fact, he's been the best passer in the NFL on 3rd down over the last 2 seasons.
Comes Woodson.
And they pick him up. And Chandler again, the deep ball for Emmanuel. And terrific coverage downfield by Tyrone Drakeford.
A little zone blitz action there by the 49ers. They come with the blitz. They did a good job. The Falcons did a good job of picking it up. Rod Woodson came up the inside corner. Well, I tell you what, they are trying to go after Tyrone Drakeford today, but they're getting nothing. That is called hip pocket, I got your wallet technique.
Dan Struzinski try and drop this one inside the 10. He's as good as anybody around. Very close. But it's into the, is it into the end zone? Or are they saying that? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So they're bringing it out to the 20. Boy, that was close. 49-yard punt by Struzinski. I think you can make a strong case for this guy going to the Pro Bowl. His punts are never, and that's not exaggerated, they are never returned. 7-7 game. We're in the 2nd quarter.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to fly. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Visa, the official card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. And by NASDAQ.
First down, Young flushed out of the pocket. And he sprints for the sidelines. Good enough for a first down. A gain of 11, chased by Henry Crockett.
I thought it was interesting what Steve Young told us yesterday, is that nobody here is turning backflips over yesterday, and the fact that, you know, it hurts a lot to lose Jerry, but we had to move on. It got to a point where guys were thinking too much about going on without Jerry. You know, it's time for some younger guys to get going and get playing.
See what the Niners have done on first down. No matter how those numbers bear out, it's still a 7-7 game. And this is William Floyd. And he picks up a couple out to the 33. Garrison Hurst is still not returned. He had a stinger in his shoulder on the last 49er touchdown drive.
Well, this is the kind of game that the Falcons wanted thus far. They wanted to stay in it, keep it close, avoid a score on the first possession. They did that, and then they knew they had to make some big plays, and they've made that so far.
Still on the sideline. Second and 8, Young to throw, drops off the screen to Kirby and read beautifully.
Boy, Andre Crockett, the rookie, if he's not there, that is going to be a long gainer, because they had Gogan out front. Ray Brown, actually Dahlman was out front. This is a huge play in the 49er arsenal. The screen, you see Dahlman slip out along with Ray Brown. Look, they got 2-on-2. Good job there by the linebacker, Andre Crockett. Talking to him yesterday, he said, man, I'm exhausted. You know, you talk about that college season. Hey, by the time you get to this level of the season, we're done with college football.
3rd and 8, and the completion made to Terrell Owens, but a flag is down. In the backfield, it could be holding against San Francisco, and it is. And they also have an injury to Owens, who made the reception and is slow to get up.
Holding. Offense number 66. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
They got big Kevin Gogan on that one.
The 49ers already a banged-up team. First Hurst, now Owens.
It's Chuck Smith working on the outside of Derek Deese. I don't know what they saw on the other side. That didn't look too bad there.
Third down and 18. Young looking down the field. Tremendous amount of time and just has to throw it away.
Great coverage downfield. I mean, Young has time, but there's nobody to throw the ball to, and Chuck Smith is mad. He thinks it should be holding. He thinks there should be holding. We just saw that play before. Derek Deese kind of got underneath him. They didn't call it. That was an iffy call, but he's hot.
Well, the holding penalty cost the 49ers because they had enough for a first down on the completion to Owens. But now Thompson will punt it away. We're tied at 7 with 12 minutes left to play until halftime.
Falcons should get great field position here.
Flag down, blows it dead.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 31. 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
Now see, this is the holding penalty that... Well, I guess Chuck Smith has a right to complain.
Yes, he does. But it wasn't called on that play. Snap, Thompson able to handle it. And Atlanta should get even better field position now. On the return, still on his feet, Todd Kinchin. And he's out to the 43-yard line. 49-yard punt, 10-yard return. Still tied at 7 here in the second quarter. Halloween is almost here, and Fox invites you to spend a night with America's spookiest family. Join the Addams and an all-star cast in Addams Family Values. Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox. Well, now you have your first little one, Lee Elijah. You're going to take him out for Halloween, aren't you?
Yeah, he's going to be dressed up as a pumpkin. He's got a huge pumpkin, blow-up pumpkin. He looks hilarious. He looks like a part of the Addams family.
First and 10. Handler, and down he goes. Roy Parker.
You know, in an effort for Atlanta to take care of Stubblefield and Young inside, that means they got to go man-to-man on guys like Roy Parker. And he's right there. He just beats Willig inside. It almost looked like Willig thought the play was going a different direction. I mean, that is as clean as it gets.
But Parker had a monster season last year with the 49ers, a career-high 12.5 sacks, as many as he had his first 4 years in the league, then with Minnesota. Throws, and Emmanuel headed for the football, just got tangled up with Woodson. No penalty flag. Right now, McDonald's game break time. Let's return to James Brown in Hollywood.
Thom and Ron, Tennessee having its way with Washington right now. Eddie George has been stopped twice, so Steve McNair leads all quarterbacks in rushing. Naked bootleg, he scores. Eddie George has now scored 13-0, pending a point after. Back to Thom and Ron.
Well, you knew that was going to be a tough one for Washington. Forget the record. You just had a feeling.
Chandler, you can still be wincing in pain. He took a shot.
Yeah, Dolman looped inside and waxed him pretty good.
3rd and 17. They're coming after him again. This time Stubblefield. He eludes it. But down he goes in the arms of Dolman. Did get it off. They throw a penalty flag.
That's going to be a form of intentional grounding there. He's in the pocket. He just lets that thing go in an effort to avoid the sack. He's trying to say that they ain't gonna Watch Stubby right here. Watch his penetration inside. We talked about how low and quick these guys stay. That's called a swim move. He gets away from Stubby, but then this one comes here. Dolman, and there's the intentional grounding. You're in the pocket. He's just trying to get rid of the ball to save the sack.
Intentional grounding, number 12. The ball will be put in play at the spot of the foul, since it was more than 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of down, 4th down.
I think Dan Reeves is trying to say that he's trying to throw that ball to a receiver, but it looked like from here that he was just letting it go.
And he looked in the grass.
He was just letting it go, yeah. And he looked like he was in the grass, right.
Chandler still in pain over on that Falcon sideline. And Straczynski boots it away. Owezike, a fair catch at the 31-yard line. That's the first time I've had to call his name today and haven't botched it. And now an extra pushing and shoving down at the end of the field. But no penalty flags are thrown. We may see Billy Joe Tolliver on the next series. We'll wait. Well, it's time for our Aflac trivia question. What do these 4 guys right here have in common with my main man, Ron Pitts? We'll give you a moment or two to think about it. Well, why are you hiding back there?
Kind of feels like the thing to do, you know.
You look much better in person than in that picture, by the way. Give you a minute or two to think about that.
Oh, gee, thanks. Anybody looks much better than that picture.
Garrison Hurst is checked back into the game.
Somebody said they all played at Ohio State. That's not right.
No, that's not right.
That's your guys.
Well, we saw JB give us the update on Eddie George a moment ago. Unbelievable season last year for the rookie Buckeye. And at it again this year. 2nd and 6. Boyd in motion, Young to throw. Fires to the far side. What a move. Good enough for a first down by Terrell Owens. And he's out to the 44, a gain of 7, first down, San Francisco.
Terrell Owens told Steve Young last week, he said, listen, just throw the ball up, okay? I feel like a basketball player in a football uniform anyway. Just throw it up and I can get it from anybody. He is very confident in his ability to make plays. It's funny talking to him about coming here in training camp. He said he got some strange looks by the offensive coaching staff. Not sure where he's going in this offense. Got to get the stuff together.
Delay to Garrison Hurst, the big hole. Inside the 40, the 20, and shoved out of bounds inside the 10, all the way down to the 5 by Ray Buchanan.
So much for the sore shoulder. A great block. Kirk Sprafford, 76, comes all the way across the formation and gets a nice wham. Watch this. Nice ear hole right there. And then great blocking up front with Gogan and Brown. I mean, he's not touched. This is the type of thing that the 49ers have been doing the last 4 weeks. They have been opening huge holes and getting great runs.
51-yard gain by Garrison Hurst, and you see his number.
Got a guy late on the field.
Goes to the goal line.
Oh, he's got to come in from the side.
Here, no signal given yet as Kirby took the hands
That's
off.
good spot.
And no signal given. He's just short, maybe a foot. Niners trying to take their first lead of the game.
Let's get from last year, 49ers are solid between the guard and center. Now they got a flag.
Boy, in the middle of all that talk and commotion as to where to spot the ball, a flag just came.
Yeah, in the midst of all that talk and commotion. Sportsmanlike conduct. Must have been a discouraging word said.
Too many men in the field on the defensive team. Penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Now see, Michael Booker, number 20, he came running in on the field. Now he's back there. And now they got 12 guys on the field. They never got that cornerback out. Yeah, but see, the ball was not in Floyd with him. The ball didn't quite get in.
Denied, and chance for the touchdown is William Floyd. That'll bring up 3rd and goal. And again, Crockett right in the middle of things. That rookie out of Florida State.
Down here, if you're going to run it, it's all about line serve. The low man is going to win.
Third down and goal, just inside the 1. 49ers have been shorted into these situations, and did he get in? Still no signal given.
Boy, what a hit.
It was Crockett that delivered the blow. And now it is a touchdown. Well, I tell you, for the life of me, I never understand how they can wait that long, unpile the players, and then decide whether or not it's a touchdown.
They got some serious drama going on down in that pile. Cornelius Bennett better cool off. He may be right.
Well, it is ruled a touchdown for the 49ers.
Boy, he is fired up.
Well, if you can read it home, don't repeat it out loud.
This guy better just play football instead of talking to the referee.
And now, see, look what happened. The snap. Thompson throws, and they will not cash in.
That's why, no matter what happened to play before, you got to line up and play the next play.
And a penalty flag is down. Tommy Thompson, the punter, and also the holder, took a hit. Jim Schwantz made the reception, but denied getting in.
William White didn't even want to play the play. He wanted to confer with the referee the whole time.
There was no infraction on the play.
That ends up being a huge point now for the 49ers, a huge play for the Falcons.
Like a low snap by Randy Kirk.
'94, Andre Crockett for Atlanta makes the initial hit. The ball has to touch the plane. Unless he did it right there, and we can't tell looking at that. Unless it's right there, and if it does, then this guy here, head linesman, should be able to come with a sign right now. But he had the same viewpoint we did. Look at it from this angle. No, he just has to touch the line with the ball. That's all he's got to do. And it's hard to tell from there, Tom. Maybe you can't. I can't.
Well, I just don't understand how if the officials...
Right, and you delay that long. What did they see later on that they didn't see there?
Exactly.
The play is stopped unless they called forward progress.
Byron Hansbard brings it out to the 20-yard line. 7:31 to play here in the opening half. 13-7, 49ers lead it.
Naturally, if that's your offensive team going in, you got to signal touchdown.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be waving his arms saying, no, we didn't get in. And again, 13-7 as they couldn't deliver the point after touchdown. It looked like a low snap from Randy Kirk to the holder, Tommy Thompson.
See, that's what I don't understand about that formation the Falcons were in there. 2 tight ends, 1 receiver. All you do is invite people to come up to the line of scrimmage. You don't have another wide out to spread people out. It's hard to run the ball like that. I mean, you're inviting as many as 9 guys now along your line of scrimmage. I think you do much better if you continue to spread people out like they did in the first quarter.
Take a look at the numbers since the opening quarter. Minus 16 yards of offense for these Falcons. Second down and 8, play taking Anderson, and a batted ball at the line of scrimmage. That That was a rookie, Zach Bronson.
Now that makes my point. You go 2 tight ends, one wide receiver, 1 corner takes care of that. You know what the defensive coordinator is going to do with his other safety? He's going to crowd him on the line of scrimmage and get in the backfield. That's the difference in the play. That's the guy that knocks down the ball. That's why it just doesn't make sense for me to do that. Now we're in 3rd down. Now they're forced to go in a 3 wide out.
Hold on, Chris. Got it.
Looked like they had trouble starting the play clock there, so they're going to stop everything for a moment. You see Chris Chandler today.
You know, Chandler has been hit a lot since the beginning of the season. In fact, the first game up in Detroit, he said, I don't know if this guy can survive the whole season with the amount of hits he's got.
Well, he's missed a start. He's had to leave 3 games early. He did not start the first encounter against San Francisco. Billy Joe Tolliver got the nod that week. Chandler has been on 6 of 15. 77 yards, has missed his last 5. Third and 8. Good protection this time. Looks down the field, and tremendous coverage down there. Got an eye on Todd Kinchin.
You don't hold me, you little prick. You can't see it.
That's just the pressure there, but there's no place for Chandler to throw the football. Whitfield working on Dolman out here. These guys used to play on the same team here when Dolman was in Atlanta. He's got time to let it go. He doesn't have any place to throw the ball.
Darnell Walker and Bronson with the coverage here a moment ago. Now the Falcons punt. A fair catch at the 34-yard line for a 44-yard punt by Straczynski. And now a penalty flag comes in, pushing and shoving out at the 45-yard line.
There's been a lot of that going on after the play.
Bolden of Atlanta. Couldn't tell who it was with the 49ers, but Bolden the man for Atlanta.
Foul, unnecessary roughness on the kicking team, number 43. The foul occurred after the ball was dead. 15 yards, first down.
Yeah, that's on Duran Bolden. Looking at Joe DeCamillis, Falcons special teams coach. Yeah, they've had some extracurricular activity after every kick so far. You know, life is rough when you're a gunner anyway. This is the kind of stuff that happens to you. Now, they don't see the hold, and Bolden loses his cool a little bit. He takes that shot. That's what they call him. Well, that's kind of sweet. It's okay to run into each other full speed for 60 minutes, but you push a guy in the shoulder and get blown. That makes a lot of sense.
Garrison Hurst leaps over the top of the pile, and he's down to the 47-yard line, a gain of 5. Well, we asked you earlier, what do these 5 guys have in common? And the answer is, they were all born October the 14th. Just celebrated a birthday last week. Belated happy birthday. You know who else shares a birthday with you? Charlie Joyner.
Ah.
Just turned 50 this past week.
I'm an old guy, you know. Hit 35.
Well, you're getting up there.
On the downhill side.
There's no question about that.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I could always count on you for support.
Travis Hall is down for Atlanta. He already has 6 sacks this season. This would be a big blow. We're going to take an injury timeout. 49ers leading the Falcons 13-7. Travis Hall slowly walks off the field under his own power. 3rd-year tackle out of BYU.
And that's not going to help their cause. The Falcons have not stopped the run very well thus far. The pass hasn't been the problem. The run, the long run there with Garrison Hurst has been killing them.
2nd and 6. Young looks one way, throws the other to J.J. Stokes. And he has a first down at the Atlanta 37-yard line.
Maybe he's got to get that shoe put back on. Look at that sock come out.
And Dolman gives him a shoe.
You know, they say when you get down there, get anything you can. Ray Buchanan took it literally. He got a size 13.5, looks like. Shane Dronette.
Boyd in motion. They fake to Hurst, and Young looks at Hurst, who wasn't turned around looking the other way.
Yeah, I think therein lies the problem with Steve's comfort zone a little bit. Greg Clark, the rookie tight end, probably not caught up to speed yet. That's the bootleg. One of the most dangerous plays in their playbook. He doesn't see the open guy. He doesn't. Greg Clark not open right away. He has to pull it down and go the opposite side.
Young is hit on 6 of 9 for 60 yards and a touchdown. 2nd and 10. Gary Kirby carries down to the 34-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down.
We talked about the pass distribution for the San Francisco 49ers. We look here, look at last year, and of course, that's the big guys everybody would suspect, but that just goes to show you how they've had to make sure that everybody gets involved. Now today, they've only thrown to 3 different guys.
And they had 8 different players with receptions in the win last week over St. Louis.
It's a matter of getting everybody on the football, letting everybody touch the ball in this offense.
3rd and 7. Young looks across the middle, and a catch is made by Owens. 1st and goal, 49ers at the 7. White with a coverage and the tackle.
Boy, they made that one look easy. Nothing fancy, just a little post route across the inside of the field here. This referee is going to get completely wiped out. Actually made a nice little screen, but look at that throw. I mean, there's nobody in the middle of the field. Steve Young with a nice clear lane down the center of the field, a good field of vision. Nobody in the throwing lane.
And now the 49ers a chance to add 6 more. Young looking in the end zone, and it's broken up. Nice play made by Ronnie Bradford.
Ronnie Bradford has come in and played well. Free agent from Arizona. They put him out there and people tried him early, but he's made his share of plays. Whenever you got a left-handed quarterback, it's hard because it goes completely against what the defense is used to seeing every other week of the season. I mean, the play actions are the opposite side. The rollouts coming at you. And when he lets go of the ball, it's kind of a funky delivery. You don't get a clear look at it. It's hard to break up passes on a guy like that.
This will be a touchdown for Kerry Kirby. And the 49ers, known for so many years as a team that will beat you through the air, and all of a sudden become a team that can chew you up on the ground.
Watch this side of the field. There is just a complete blown assignment somewhere. Nobody gets anything. Good block right there on the outside.
And not even touched was Kirby as he goes in for his 4th touchdown.
Looked like Greg Clark had a nice block at the tight end.
They're going to go for 2 after missing a chance for the point after touchdown their last score. To Kirby up and over top, and he is in. A 2-point conversion is good.
Yeah, he almost fumbled that ball.
That makes it a 21-7 San Francisco lead.
And
Terry Kirby a couple of touchdowns.
And this is where the 49ers always start to pound on people. Coming down here in the first half, count down to halftime. They're comfortable going right over Brown, right over those big guards. See right there, he just bobbled the ball. Those officials got good eyes coming down that line and hit linesman.
Jesse Tuggles stood him up, but not before Kirby had broken the plane of the end zone, and it's 21-7 San Francisco.
Here's a touchdown once again. They just washed Chuck Smith up the field. And everybody else is in man-to-man coverage standing in the end zone.
Dan Reeves' Falcons took a 7-0 lead in this game. San Francisco has come back with 21 unanswered points. And here's Bolden breaking it to the outside, crosses the 20 out to the 22. And that's where Chandler and company will put it in play after a 19-yard return. Boy, the Falcons need points, don't they, Ronnie, to get at least a little momentum back heading into the locker room at halftime?
Well, I think they got away from some things that they were doing in the first quarter. I mean, we talked about the formation spreading out a little bit. And we saw them go to that 2 tight end deal, and they just got slammed in that thing. That was totally unproductive. And we saw the yardage in the second quarter. I mean, a minus yard figure. Complete turnaround from one quarter. And it's not like the score dictated that at the time that they started.
Chandler finds Mathis, who steps out of bounds out of the 29-yard line, a gain of close to 6. Clock stops with 3:19 to play in the half, and now it'll start back up again.
And then you ask yourself, where is the tight end in Atlanta's offense? They have a rookie tight end. He caught one ball, but they don't use them vertically up the seam. That's another thing that keeps people from coming down and trying to stop your run from using 8-man front.
Atlanta 8 rushes, 20 passes. They've done nothing on the ground. They'll try it again. This time to the rookie Hansbard, his first carry of the day. Breaks a couple of tackles, has a first down out to the 35. Byron Hansbard, collegiate running back in 1996, winner of the Doug Walker Award. And he has a 77-yard touchdown run this season, the longest in franchise history.
Well, a lot of people think that he was a second-round steal for the Falcons. You know, he didn't get a whole lot of pub, but in spite, like you said, Thom, of having all those yards in college, he was on the board as one of the top 3 running backs coming out.
Rolling at 210, and Chandler, good protection, wants the long ball. Looks for Emmanuel, who tried to make the reception, and no penalty flags on the play. Again, Rod Woodson there step for step. And Emmanuel thought he did a little bit more.
I don't think it mattered anyway, because the official threw his hat off. That means the receiver went out of bounds. So even if he did catch it, unless his hat flew off inadvertently, right there, good push. See, right there, he's out of bounds, so it doesn't matter. It's not. It couldn't be interference. It couldn't be a catch. He's out of bounds right there, and there's the hat. That's what you call using your help. For Rod Woodson, he knows the sideline is like an extra defender for him, and he squeezed Emmanuel to the sideline.
We're going to get the play off before the 2-minute warning. Mathis on the reception, and he's to the 46-yard line, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. Officially 1:57, and the Falcons trail the 49ers by 14. .157 to play until halftime, and the Falcons trail San Francisco 21-7. Atlanta from its own 46, a first down and 10, plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time, but they need points here of some sort. This game, it's not completely out of hand, but rapidly getting to that area.
Falcons have all 3 of their timeouts left. That involved the line of scrimmage. And it falls incomplete. Ryan Young got a hand on it and almost ran her down.
Yeah, this is why, even if you don't get to the quarterback, if you can get in the throwing lane and get your hands up, there's no way the quarterback's going to make that play. Look at that. He's got 2 guys on him. He's not going to get to the quarterback, but yet he knows that Chandler's got to try to throw through a big body, and that is a big body and a big hand. You got to try to throw to. Trust me.
Chandler has hit on just 2 of his last 10. Make it 3 of 11, making the catch is Kinchin, and he's thrown to the turf by Merton Hanks at midfield. Clock still running down to 1:40. Atlanta again has all 3 of its timeouts remaining, and they bring them quickly up to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 3rd and 5. Chandler steps up, delivers a ball, and Mathis has it down to the 23.
He's gonna have to burn one. Yep.
Clock stops after the timeout with 1:22 left. 24-yard gain on the pass play, Chandler to Mathis, and now Atlanta knocks on the door.
It's fall.
Give your quarterback at least time to get a look and let go of it. You're not doing a horrible job up front of protecting. But this is just a great throw. I mean, that ball comes in between 2 guys.
First down at the 23, play fake. Chandler again steps up, and the ball again tipped at the line.
Looked like his hand was hit.
Is down.
Got a flag down, but I'm not sure if his hand was hit. They got holding. Doesn't matter.
Well, you see him gripping the, or at least trying to loosen everything up. Shoulder, maybe an elbow, a hand.
Well, he got that arm hit in full motion. Rip muscles like
Holding,
that.
offense, number 69, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Dean Williams, right guard. Dean Williams working right in there. He comes up, he gets help. See that arm, see that lock? He's got Brian Young locked up there. That's where he gets the hit on the arm.
Roy Barker got a hold of the elbow. 4-receiver set on a first down at 20. Good protection this time. Taylor throws, dangerous. Nearly intercepted by Woodson.
Boy, they keep trying Rod Woodson, boy. That one was almost coming back the other way. Don't forget, this is the guy that had 3 interceptions in 1 game this year. He's going to try to throw the out route. Looks like he's a little bit late, and Woodson's standing there.
Second down and 20, 1:10 remaining until halftime. Atlanta with 2 timeouts. 3 wide receivers to the right, and Chandler fires across the middle, and the catch is made by Kinchin, and he's tackled all the way down at the 7-yard line. Clock is stopped with a timeout. 1:02 remaining, and the Falcons have 1 timeout remaining. A gain of 26.
Todd Kinchin makes a nice play coming over the middle. He's right here. He's going to work inside. And you can see the coverage. Everybody's worried about the outside guys. They put a trail on Kinchin. You got to give Chandler credit. He's finding the open guy, and he's got some time to do it. We talked about the rookie center, Calvin Collins. As long as he's got to look down the field and sees color separated from color, he's going to make a throw.
Again, a reminder, coming up on the Dockers Khakis halftime report, we'll bring you scores and highlights from around the league. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Dockers Khakis halftime report. Talked about Atlanta needing points, needing momentum up before halftime. They're driving down the field, 1st and goal at the 7. Trailing by 14.
They had trouble getting that play lined up.
The entire field spread out, and a throw to Santiago. Did he get in? The ball is loose. They're saying touchdown. Touchdown for Santiago. Mathis covered it up anyway in the end zone.
If that's a fumble, he's the only guy that could recover that ball in the end zone.
Well, from up here, the official
looked like, and I'm not sure if he fumbled it before they ruled touchdown or after.
I thought the closest official to the play.
Well, he went ahead and spiked
the ball broke the plane for a touchdown.
Yeah, there it is.
So it's Santiago on the touchdown.
We talked about the tight ends. O.J. Santiago, here's a guy 6'7", 266. I mean, he is really that big. The whole deal is if the ball just crosses the plane, just touches the plane, it's hard to tell from there. But it looked like he got it across. Now, in event he had fumbled, only O.J. could have recovered that ball, not Terrence Mathis. It would have been down at the spot of the fumble.
Morton Anderson tacks on the extra point. Well, did he get in? We'll take another look. It's the second touchdown of his career. Yeah.
Boy, it's tough. If he got in, he just got in before that fumble. Like we said, if that was a fumble before he got in, then that ball's dead, because O.J. is the only guy that can recover that ball in the last 2 minutes, under the last 2 minutes, the fumbling player.
And again, the rule of Ronnie along the goal line, if he just sticks it out, if it just breaks in there,
breaks the plane, right? You imagine an electronic beam, a laser beam going across there. As soon as you puncture that beam, it's touchdown. Boy, that's just tough calls a day. Bottom line, Falcons come back within 7 going in before the half, unless the 49ers come down and score again. That was a huge drive, maybe the biggest drive of the game.
And you talked about give Chandler credit. He's taken some hits. He's hung in there.
You give him credit, right. I also got to give the offensive line credit. Sure, we talked about this defensive front for San Francisco making great plays. They're going to do that, but he's also had some clean looks down the middle of the field. And you talk about using everybody. He's used a lot of different guys. He started off with Emmanuel, then he went back to Mathis. Pension getting a big play, a guy they weren't expecting, and then ends it up making a nice throw to O.J. Santiago.
Well, now you have to wonder whether the Niners will try and move down the field. They have all 3 of their timeouts left, and 48 seconds remain until halftime. Everybody moved up, and Anderson just smokes it. Well, you know, it's so easy to overlook this guy, Morton Anderson, but if there's ever been a better field goal kicker in the history of the game, you'd be hard-pressed to name him and not get some kind of argument. He has been absolutely unbelievable since the day he walked out of college from Michigan State.
He really has. He's been consistent, and he keeps his head together. You know, he's one of those guys that plays the mental game, you know, and not being your own worst enemy, which can happen to kickers a lot.
So now Young and the 49ers.
This guy plays a pretty good mental game, too.
They like their chances in the 2-minute offense. Although this is a 48-second offense. They're going to give it a go. Set up a screen to William Floyd. Got a good block in front of him and could not get out of bounds.
He didn't get out. That clock's winding.
Shot down by Ray Buchanan.
They got to get on it. Call it. See, Steve is upset about something.
Well, they have to spend a timeout. And the clock stops with 33 seconds left.
Looked like William tried to give one last juke move there before he got out of bounds.
A couple of NFC Western matchups going on today. Carolina leading New Orleans. Here today, San Francisco against Atlanta. And clearly has been 49er domination since '92. Look at those numbers.
Yeah, the numbers are so low, of course, in Carolina because they're the expansion team. They're beating up on some people yesterday.
Average margin of victory, 16.
You talking to the guys in training camp, the one team that really gets their goat right now, Carolina Panthers. They whooped up on them the last couple of years. They did not like that. That was nice revenge in that night.
Oh, yeah. Floyd gets the football, carries out to the 35, 25 seconds and counting. Young hurries him up to the line of scrimmage.
You got to take a shot off the field.
And they're going to do it.
Oh, and they're going to get an interference on Ronnie Bradford, unless they call it on Owens. They ran the out and up. Looked like Bradford made contact after the 5-yard.
Waiting on Larry Nemmers, our referee.
Illegal contact. Number 23 defense. 5 yards. First down.
Ronnie Bradford, the Falcons corner, isn't allowed to make contact after 5 yards. He initiates contact right there, and that's the call. But you know what? If he felt he was fooled on the play, give him 5, not 55. That was a great move by him.
Well, 40, they tried to set it screen to Kirby. That wasn't going anywhere anyway.
I got to go back and give Ronnie Bradford credit on that one. I mean, he felt like, right or wrong, he felt like he was beat on the out and up. He draws the penalty. They move it up. He said it with 8 seconds. He didn't give up the touchdown.
And only 5 yards. And now 8 seconds left. 4 receivers in the game for San Francisco. We may see a Hail Mary here. Young steps up, waiting for people to get down the field. Now he's going to run it. Slides down at the 48-yard line, and that's the end of the first half. So Atlanta with a late touchdown. Falcons were down 14. Now Steve Mariucci's club up just 7. James Brown and Terry will be along with the Dockers County's halftime report following these messages from your local Fox station.
Dockers Halftime, brought to you by Dockers Khakis, adding style to pregame interviews everywhere. Hey, nice pants.
All right, back here in Hollywood with Ronnie, Howie, and Terry, and yours truly, JB. Not a bad game taking place in Atlanta from a fan standpoint. 21-14, Niners on top. Niners are crushing them on the ground. Capers and Ditka jawing before the game.
Danny Werfel getting his first start, rookie out of Florida. Throws out into the flat. Eric Davis is there, the receiver. Someone either ran the wrong route or Werfel anticipated. Anyway, it was intercepted by Davis. Back comes Kerry Collins. Big first half, 15 for 20. 143 yards, and this touchdown off of screen to Anthony Johnson as Carolina is up by 10. Now 13-0 over the Saints. Werfel having a rough half in the first half.
Redskins couldn't do a thing with that guy, Eddie George, in the first half at all.
That guy, Eddie George, play action, Eddie George. Everybody goes inside, no containment outside. And there's your touchdown right there by Steve McNair.
This is even worse.
Give it to Eddie George. Bouncing to the outside, cuts back inside, 14-0 Oilers.
Let's run it in there again.
There you go, Rodney Thomas. Hey, anybody can do this. Up the middle, Rodney Thomas 5 yards out. Tennessee, what? 21, JB, I'm sorry, man. 21-0 over the Redskins at half.
You don't have to emphasize it. Ricky Waters counts for what? The only score of Philadelphia.
Waters off, up out of the eyes, breaks back to the outside, cuts back in. This 2-yard touchdown run puts Philly up by 7, and that is the score at the half going into the third quarter, as you can see there.
In Irving, Texas, Emmitt Smith finally has scored a touchdown. Cowboys on top 13-7. Patriots looking for their 3rd straight sweep of the Jets. But it's all tied. No, make it 5-3 now. Patriots on top. Seahawks 10-7 over the Rams. That one in the 3rd quarter of play. Wow, we talk about San Francisco. San Francisco has been doing a nice job of spreading the ball around in the absence of Jerry Rice. Guys have stepped up.
Yeah, they have stepped up. J.J. Stokes, Terrell Owens, they've done an excellent job of getting down the field. Now, I think in the second half, they have to find a way to get the ball to Clark, the tight end. If they're able to do that, I think that they can win this football game.
Well, one thing Clark has contributed to, as we pointed out in the pregame show, is the ability of the San Francisco 49ers to run the ball. How's this for a change in roles? 153 yards rushing for San Francisco versus 96 passing. Atlanta's done a good job in throwing the ball if they can keep Chandler on his feet and healthy. 5 balls batted down. We talked about passing lanes in the pregame. 2 sacks, 4 hurries, 4 knockdowns. Job for the Atlanta Falcons offensive line is to keep this kid alive.
The thing, if you guys look, the 49ers in their next 2 games on the road travel to Atlanta today. Next week they go to New Orleans. What are those? Those are AstroTurf, artificial surfaces. Steve Young with the concussions. If you can run the football against Atlanta, don't forget they have 29 sacks. They're tied with who? New Orleans in the NFL for sacks. It's important that the 49ers establish the run and win the football game running the football. And Howie, you're right. They're doing that. Steve Young is very accurate, doing an excellent job, but they're not depending on Steve so far to win this football game. Don't forget there's a guy named Smith, a defensive end for Atlanta, who's pretty good at getting in the quarterback's face.
0 sacks today.
Yeah, doing an excellent job by the 49ers.
You know, I wish I had you as a teacher in school because you asked a question and give the answer. That would have made me look a lot smarter. Anyway, we're going to go back to the second half of the game between San Francisco and Atlanta. Nobody to talk to. We're going to take it back to the second half of the game. San Francisco and Atlanta, he does need it. We'll see you back in a bit. I don't need this.
21-14, San Francisco in front of Atlanta here at halftime. Back with Ron Pitts, I'm Thom Brennaman, our entire Fox crew. The last time these two teams met, Ronnie, the San Francisco blowout in the Bay Area, it was 31-0. So Atlanta has to feel really good about things right now.
Well, like we talked about, that score right there going into halftime was key. They had to get something on the board, not go in with that huge deficit. Like last time they played, you know, San Francisco's in a new territory. I think they're not used to playing this close coming into halftime. So let's see how they react.
Well, some of the numbers from the first half. Certainly a huge differential in the running game. You talked about it early, Ronnie.
Well, the running game has been the difference in this whole statistic right here, and that's for the Falcons. That's all they've got. Everything else is even, and the turnovers, no turnovers for either team. That is what Atlanta had to do. You see the time of possession is about the same. Let's check out a couple big runs here. Right there, that's Garrison Hurst. That's the huge run he had. And, you know, when the 49ers get ahead of you, that is when this run game has worked the best. You know, a lot of teams like to run to get everything else set up. Well, I think they passed first to set up the run, and that was Kirby's last touchdown run there. And then Atlanta answers. They come up with a nice drive. There you see the play to Mathis. And then Kitchen, he hits one. But look at the vision that Chandler's got. He's taken some shots in there. But all in all, he's been tough, and I think the offensive line has hung in there and given him some time to make some plays. Once again, you're going against a defensive line in the 49ers. I mean, they may have, like we said, the best two defensive tackles in the NFL. If you can shut those guys down and keep them to where your quarterback has a chance to throw the ball, you're doing a pretty decent job.
Steve Mariucci's 49ers will get the ball to begin the second half. Just a 7-point San Francisco lead. It wasn't even a contest the first meeting. Steve Young threw for 336 yards, a couple of touchdowns. 49ers scored on 4 of their first 6 possessions in that game, building a 31-0 lead. But a dramatically different tale here in Atlanta as Anderson spins it away to begin the second half.
That's a nice kick.
And Levy will take down a knee, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Well, we brought up earlier a dramatically different San Francisco 49er team than those in years past. Obviously, the injury to Jerry Rice has put a damper on the passing game, but they had made up their mind they're going to run the football, and they've averaged 33 rushing attempts per game. That is second only to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the NFL. They're running the ball more than Denver, more than Philadelphia, more than Tampa Bay. And they go on the ground to begin the second half, and it's Hurst. A gain of 6.
They come into this game ranked 22nd in the NFL passing, ranked 8th rushing. They are a better running team right now. And people say, well, the 49ers, you know, they've lost Jerry Rice. They don't have Brett Jones. What are they going to be? What are they going to do? Tell you what they might end up being is a little more well-rounded, if you think about it. One thing for sure, they've definitely had to use everybody, and it's forced these young guys to play.
And again, Hurst with a big hole on the right side. And he has first down yardage, a gain of close to 9, and he's out to the 34-yard line. Garrison Hurst coming back home where he grew up in Georgia.
Yeah, Atlanta better get ready for this. They're going to see a nice dose of this coming out. Look at all the guys on the line of scrimmage. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you know a strong safety's floating around in there. There he is. He still got the first one. I still give some credit to those big guys. Those 2 big guards. Not that everybody else is doing a good job, but they're in there and run the ball.
Young's first throw to second half and nearly intercepted by Devin Bush. Ball was thrown behind the intended receiver, J.J. Stokes.
Derek Deese, the left tackle for the 49ers, got his helmet ripped off. Working on Chuck Smith. Chuck Smith, a lot of people talk about being a dirty player in the NFL. Whew. That's why they have double chin straps nowadays. Just in case a hand goes up your nostril, you still keep your helmet on.
2nd and 10. William Floyd, that didn't fool anybody. Staying at home, Cornelius Bennett see Travis Hall, number 98, back in the game as well for Atlanta. That's a good sign for the Falcons.
49ers now, if it looks like they're running the same kind of plays they opened up the game with, well, they might be. You know, they script their first 15 plays at the beginning of the game. Out of that script, they take what worked well, and they come out and they script another 15 for the second half.
5 defensive backs check in for Atlanta on this 3rd and 8. Young walks it over the middle, intercepted by Bradford at the 43. He's tackled right there. First turnover of the game.
Steve Young threw one bad pass like that last week against the Rams, and it cost the touchdown. This one, I think it all starts with the pressure. Doug Smith getting that outside. I think he might have let it go. He pulled the trigger about a count early. Boy, that one's full. I mean, you got that's. That looks like an order cookie back there. But I don't know how he threw that ball. Two black shirts, one white shirt.
Comes out throwing to begin the second half, and he picks up where he left off. He finds Mathis.
Well, but you look at Chris Chandler get up after every play. He's got something hurting him. So I'm talking to him the other day. First thing I said, well, how you feel, Chris? I said, well, I feel about the same as I did last week. And then they asked me that last week. I said, I feel about the same I did the week before. This is where Atlanta needs to take advantage of a turnover. You know, getting the turnover is one thing. We talked about no turnovers in the game thus far, except for that one. But if you don't do anything with it, it's useless.
Second down carry for Jamal Anderson. He'll be denied the first down. It'll bring up 3rd and maybe 2. Yard and a half, perhaps, depending on the spot.
Jamal Anderson, he's a funny guy. Highly upset at the fact that he didn't make the all-bad team last year. He must have read us the riot act for about 15 minutes on why I need to go tell John that he should make the bad team next year. He needs to go to a little bit higher jurisdiction, don't you?
I agree.
Not a heck of a whole lot I can do about it.
Neither one of us. 3rd and a yard. The Falcons will throw. Chandler in trouble. Down he goes in the arms of Brian Young. You talked about it, Ronnie. They don't capitalize off the turnover.
I think where Brian Young is best is on that second move. You can stop his initial charge, then you see the way he throws his guy. That's just pure strength and hand quickness. And credit to the secondary of the 49ers. He had no place to throw the football.
Brian Young, first-round draft pick, the 7th choice overall out of Notre Dame back in '94.
That's a big stop by the 49ers. That says, hey, we gave you the ball in a bad throw. You couldn't do anything with it.
Straczynski. And a fair catch signaled for by Owais McKay. Still a 7-point game. Football. San Francisco leads 21-14. 11 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, and Garrison Hurst a gain of close to 3. Ronnie, you know, you go back a moment ago and we brought it up 3rd down and a yard. Granted, only 18 yards rushing for Atlanta in the game, but on 3rd and 1 they throw again.
Yeah, I can't understand that one. I mean, I think that might be a situation where you use a big guy like Jamal Anderson and try to get the yard. They had success early throwing the quick outs to Emmanuel.
Well, they tried to throw. Brian Young registered the sack. And now a 2nd consecutive carry for Garrison Hurst, and maybe picks up 2. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
This is what's carried this team so far this year. You know, or at least kept them respectable at times, because you know, their offense went 1, 2, 3 and out. We questioned the 3rd down call. Defense back out in the field. You know, the defense, that makes you mad. Because not only are you tired, but you're wondering what the heck is your offense doing. You know, when you're within 7, you get a turnover. Midfield, they turn it right back over.
3rd and 5, short drop. Young delivers, and taking the hit immediately is Stokes, but he hung on, and it's good enough for a first down. What a shot delivered by Devin
A lot of
Bush.
people earned their money on that play. Stokes went up, he got that one for the program, and Ray Brown, the left guard, he came back limping. That's a heck of a play there. Stokes, a lot of stuff happened on that play. Moving the chains costs a lot on that play.
So Bush is leaving the field. Stokes is leaving the field.
And they're going to help Ray Brown off the field.
It's not been a good day for the 49ers. Tim McDonald left earlier in the game.
Trainer's going to be busy on this one. This is the old 49ers slant. Got to be thrown on time. It is. Now you just got to pay the price. Actually, Steve hangs him up a little bit. A little height on that ball. But this is a big blow here, I think.
Well, Ray Brown brought over as a free agent from the Redskins before last year.
And, you know, Ray Brown comes in. You know, he comes from the Redskins, a smash mouth, straight ahead NFC's football type of team. And he's coming here. This is like fast break basketball, what the offensive linemen have to do. I mean, they're pulling a lot.
Well, with Brown out of the game, they'll bring in the veteran Jesse Sapolu in his 15th season out of Hawaii. He's played both guard and center. In fact, has been a Pro Bowler at both positions. First down carry for Hurst and nowhere to go. Maybe a yard met by Cornelius Bennett. Looking at the left leg of big Ray Brown. Well, they're a nicer guy in all the football than that fellow, Ray Brown.
Ray said, I get to the 49ers. We're pulling and trapping so much that I'm losing weight.
Play fake, Young throws. Owens across the middle out to the 37-yard line. Another San Francisco first down. Right now, McDonald's game break time. Let's return to our Fox Television Center at JB.
Thom and Ron, Washington coming back. Shouldn't have put this guy out the passer too early. Henry Ellert, only the leading receiver for the Skins the last 2 years. Second touchdown a day. Washington has narrowed the gap to 7 in the third. Back to Thom and Ron.
Definitely don't want to put Ellert out the passer.
Oh, no, you don't want to do that.
Still running that 19-yard stop route on you. Oh, the pump and go.
And not biting at all. I'll tell you, Ronnie Bradford's playing a nice game. You brought it up earlier, Ronnie, that he's made plays all season long after coming over from Arizona.
Well, now the 49ers got another guy. Now that's Deese.
Well, they lost, as we mentioned, Ray Brown and J.J. Stokes a moment ago. Stokes back into the game. Brown had to leave the game, and now Deese will have to leave.
Boy, this is key here. Derek Deese right there. He's got the protection on Burrow. I know what happened. Steve fell into him.
Man.
Deese was originally put in because they had so much trouble. Good sign that he's trying to walk it up. They had so much trouble at the left tackle position. They weren't comfortable there. Tim Hanshaw started there.
A
lot of hits. Yeah, and it all has to do with Harris Barton being out. He goes down during preseason with a knee injury.
Frank Polak now in the game at left tackle. So an entirely new left side of the offensive line for the 49ers.
Very smart go with the screen.
Terry Kirby cuts it back to the inside, has a first down to midfield, stopped by Hall.
That's a smart play. You know you got your offensive line nicked up a little bit. Why put the onus on them to have to protect with new guys in there? They go with the screen out in the perimeter. Once again, Thom in the center sneaks out. Gogan. And those guys have to get blocks. That's key. You thought Dahlman got just enough on Jesse Tuggle to open up a seam to get the first down. The screen back into the game plan for the 49ers. Earlier, and even some last year, they got away from it. But now that you can see they're starting to get back into it.
Moving along the offensive line. And the play blown dead. This may be against the 49ers. It looked like Dahlman.
Prior to the snap, false start offense, 67, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It is Dahlman.
another guy who's been injured in training camp. Missed a lot of preseason. In fact, the first time they played Atlanta was his first game back.
Well, Steve Mariucci has already had numerous changes along the offensive line this season, and now a few more. Kirby stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Was able to scramble for a couple.
But Tom, you make a good point there. That's why you have to have depth on your offensive line, and that's one place that nobody seems to have any depth anymore because of free agency. You can't afford to pay your backup guard, backup center big amounts of money to stay around. That was one of the things, one of the reasons Jesse Sapullo, they didn't bring him back right away. Experienced guy, but he commands a little bit of money.
Derek Deese is back into the game for San Francisco at left tackle. Young in trouble, down he goes in the arms of Dan Owens. Owens now 4.5 sacks on the year.
We talk about the heat up front. Keep your eye on him, Dan Owens. He's just going to keep working. But watch Steve Young. One reload. Now he's scrambling. Now the sack. He put a nice forearm in the face there.
Dan Owens spent 6 seasons with Detroit, came over a season ago for Atlanta as a free agent. He had 2 sacks in the game last week. 3rd and 19. And Young in trouble. And again he's down. And again it's Owens.
Owens is in there. Dronette's in there. Inside penetration, A-gap penetration as they call it. They talked about it in the pregame. You disrupt the quarterback's vision up the field, right down the middle of the field. That's the easiest throw, and you can make progress. Look at the way he just pushed back on Jesse Sapullo there. That's impressive by Dan Owens. That shows strength right there.
And again, Sapullo in there in place of Ray Brown, who left injured. And the man he's trying to block just recorded back-to-back sacks. They nearly got that.
I think they got a piece of it. I heard a double thud.
Penalty flag down as Kinson,
I don't know,
tackled at the 27, and a penalty flag back, and Tommy Thompson is now injured for the 49ers.
Well, Tommy Thompson's had a rough day.
Well, you're right, Ronnie. All the way up here, we heard the double thud, but if they got a piece of the ball, they can't call roughing the kicker.
Absolutely right.
Roughing the kicker, number 32, 15 yards, first down.
I know what I heard, and the only other way to tell, you look at Dan Reeser, is if the ball, the path of the ball changes. Watch inside. That's where the best penetration is. Gary Plummer's got to try to pick one of them. He can't pick everybody.
I think the double thud may have been the ball, and then Thompson getting hit.
But it sure sounded like. Hard to tell.
Thompson took a lick. Trying now to get up.
And if they
Reed
don't,
still livid.
If they don't get any parts of the ball, and it was hard to tell there, then that was the correct call with a roughing the kicker. This is the last punt. Now, listen closely to this. I think there's a double thud here. I think that Atlanta got a piece of this ball. Listen. See, I heard 2 thumps there. And therefore, if you get a piece of the ball, you can go ahead and hit the kicker.
Well, they called roughing the kicker. Automatic first down for the 49ers, and Garrison Hurst gains a yard.
Well, that's an X-Files case there. I know I heard something.
Well, we know how Dan Reeves felt about it. And Thompson appears to be all right.
This has been a huge series. because San Francisco gets a bunch of guys hurt, key offensive linemen. Then they have a punt that was a roughing the kicker and gives them the ball back.
Young rolls left and just throws it away. Everybody was covered. 3rd and 9 upcoming.
What? You know, and most of that has come from this last series here. Tight end, not been much of a factor for the 49ers. You know, they got along pretty well with them without Brent Jones last week. And those rollouts, that's one guy he looks for.
Well, the Atlanta defense, you figure they have to be a little bit tired. They need a stop here on 3rd and 9. Short drop. And now Young has to run. Throws, and the catch in and out of the hands of Stokes. And a penalty flag is down back by Steve Young. We might have roughing the passer against Smith. 2 49ers are down. Young and Stokes again.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer.
Huge.
Number 90 going to the quarterback's head. 15 yards.
Key penalties have given the 49ers the ball back in situations where it would have been a punt. Right here.
No doubt about it. Not even debatable.
And the thing about it, I'm going to tell you the thing about it. It's the helmet-to-helmet action. Whether I agree with it or not, you take that extra step, you go helmet-to-helmet with the quarterback, they are going to call it. And this is a great play, I thought, by Michael Booker. The ball's caught, but look at the way he strips it away. Almost got a little face mask in there. Boy, just because the guy has the ball in his hands, he's got to come down with it and show possession in order for it to be a catch. Play's never over until it's over.
And the Atlanta defense just continues to stuff San Francisco's Garrison Hurst. Crockett there on the tackle. But then they do something silly to give the 49ers the ball right back. Yeah. Roughing the kicker.
Yeah, like you say, Tommy, that's 2 big opportunities to get your offense back on the field for Atlanta. But now, man, you got to be getting tired. These guys, they've been on the field a long time.
And Smith ought to know better. He's been in the league for 6 years.
Well, that was one of the things. You know, everybody says that Smith is tight-roping the line between legal and illegal play sometimes.
Great protection this time to the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco, Terrell Owens. Well, you can't give the 49ers 3 and 4 extra chances because they'll burn you.
This is just a simple post pattern. Michael Booker, now he's the rookie, and he's playing inside like he doesn't have any help inside. You see that move there? Jerry Rice has done that so well. He went to the post, then he went to the post corner and came back inside. That was just a good move by Terrell Owens.
Anderson for the point after, and it's good. 15-play drive, a couple of huge penalties, 6 points. And our game summary brought to you by Budweiser. The 49ers, as they've done all year long, getting it done on the ground and through the air. See Atlanta next to nothing.
Right, that's the key. You just said getting it done on the ground and in the air.
Picking up the kickoff was Brian Kozlowski, still on his feet across the 35. Out to the 45-yard line for Kozlowski. Back up tight end.
That's a 255-pound tight end who thinks he's Billy White shoes right now.
Talk about capitalizing on penalties.
Yeah, well, here's the roughing the kicker. We thought it might have been a partial block, and there's the roughing the passer. And that sets up this. This is all about selling the DB that you're going outside. They call that a Dino route, and you remember Jerry Rice ran that in the Super Bowl against San Diego, like the first touchdown pass play. He weaved in, sold the outside route, and then broke it back inside.
Good field position for the Falcons. 3:31 to play in the third quarter. They trail 28-14. They fake the draw to Anderson. Chandler fires through the hands of Brennaman.
Well, I thought he held that one too long.
Well, we'd like to remind you the countdown to the season premiere of The X-Files begins tonight with Agent Mulder's biggest mystery. Then in 2 weeks, secrets will be revealed in the television event of the year, the X-Files season premiere. Countdown begins tonight, 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. Second down and 10 for Chandler and the Falcons. Anderson, and that's the story of the day for the Atlanta ground game. Nothing doing. They have 20 yards rushing in the game. And that time, Junior Bryant, who's just checked in, made the stop.
Yes. 49ers showing him a little different look there, showing him a little 34 look.
Well, that's where Kevin Green was so successful all those years in Pittsburgh. Then with Carolina, he's in the game. And now 3rd and 9.
Oh, they got him. They got Green.
Great play for Chandler.
Let it fly.
Throws, and the catch is made. Good enough for a first down by Michael Haynes into San Francisco 37. And the penalty flags, of course, down.
Boy, Kevin Green takes as much of that line as you can possibly get.
He has been a big-time disappointment. There's no two ways about it. After coming over from Carolina, where last season he led the NFL in sacks. He doesn't have 1 sack this year and has a total of 4 tackles. Granted, he's been bothered by an injured big toe, but still very little production from Green.
Well, that's why we've seen a little 34 look here from the 49ers, trying to get him back into what he's used to doing. But I think it's a combination of him being hurt early, too. He had that toe.
We have the defense in the neutral zone to snap. We have the quarterback across the line of scrimmage on a forward pass. Penalties decline or offset. Repeat 3rd down.
In order for this to be an illegal throw over the line of scrimmage, 47-yard line is the line of scrimmage. It's right about in there. His body and the ball both have to be over that yard mark. Probably a little bit before the 47. It's tough to see, but that's the rule. His body and ball, the ball over the line, Ben.
Well, 3rd and 9. He finds Kinchin, and he's still on his feet. He'll go to the end zone. A penalty flag is down in the secondary. We'll see if this stands. It could be a 53-yard touchdown. But again, penalty flags down at about the 30-yard line, which is where
they got a hold. They got a hold on San Francisco.
Yep, and the touchdown stands.
Penalty decline. Touchdown.
Boy, Chandler just keeps coming back.
And you know, you give the credit to Chandler. Here's a guy taking the hits. He gets up and he keeps finding people. The offensive line are doing a decent job of giving him some time to throw. I mean, 1 or 2 plays, they shut down, but they got the rookie in there, Calvin Collins. He's lining up against 2 legit Pro Bowlers and getting some good help by Robbie Tibet and Gene Williams. Like we said earlier, we saw that same kind of lane down the middle of the field. Chandler has got vision down the middle of the field.
Point after is good by Morton Anderson, and he wanted a penalty call. Chandler hooking up with Kinchin, who broke tackles and went for Pater. 7-point game.
Todd Kinchin, this is a guy, last time these 2 teams played, he had 1 shoe that was white and the other shoe that was black. I mean, Todd Kinchin is definitely on another zone, but he's a guy that makes big plays.
So Kinchin getting involved in the offense. His other catch this season, you saw he had one in the first 6 games. And his only other catch all year was against San Francisco. Chuck Levy, a good return out to the 30, and a penalty flag comes flying in. And Morton Anderson immediately signaling that it's going to be holding against San Francisco. Larry Nemmers will tell us for sure.
During the return, holding on number 31, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Exactly. Let's go back to the touchdown by Kinchin. Man-to-man right here. Merton Hanks has got him now. I think this is where they call the hold on Hanks, but watch Kinchin. Watch him throw Hanks right there. They don't call that. But this is good job by Kinchin. Watch the block coming up. Brennaman, 87. He's able to get 2 guys out of the way, actually 3. Boy, Todd Kinchin. He made some big plays when he was at the Rams.
Short drop and the throw. Catch made by Stokes.
Ooh.
Not much there.
Head slam by Cornelius Bennett.
Bradford on the coverage, also helped Bennett on the tackle, a gain of 5. Good ball game. 1:25 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Well, I think now the 49ers are in a little bit new territory here. At least for this year, having to play this close, this late. Except for part of that Carolina game, maybe.
Little delay, and the carry made by Garrison Hurst.
I'll tell you what's going on down there in the line of scrimmage is for real men only. It is serious run football. I mean, you have to like, if you're a fan of the NFC East, you have to like and admire the brand of ball the 49ers are playing this year.
Well, they've had to make more changes. Derek Deese left, came back. Now he's left again. Polak back at left tackle, and Sapolo still at left guard. So Pollock and Gogan trotting back onto the field. We'll take a break. 7-point game.
2-7.
Kevin Gogan is checked back in for the 49ers on this 3rd and 2. Derek Deese is also back in at left tackle. And they give it to Kirby. He has a first down and
they
more.
got the hold. They got the hold.
He's coming back. He came all the way to the 47-yard line.
Somebody held Ronnie Bradford from the Falcons. Oh, that was flagrant.
Holding, number 89, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
That's a Wazake. Obviously somebody disagreeing with the call.
Just a little.
Just a little. Send a letter to your congressman. Now that's Bradford right there. Watch what happens to him. Hani Wazake, watch this. See, he would have been the guy. Oh, that's a rape. He would have been the guy that could have had a chance to make the play. That's a good call by the official. Now you're at a 3rd and 12. And now the front 4 of Atlanta can try to get to the quarterback.
Young drops off the screen to Kirby with blockers in front of him. First down and more.
What a play.
Inside the 41, man to beat. Cornelius Bennett can't get him. Kirby to the 1.
What a huge play. 3rd and 12 in your own part of the field. What's the safest play you can run, Tom? A screen. You pick up something, give yourself some room to punt. And like I said, the guys out front blocking have to get blocks. And they got serious blocks.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. 28-21, San Francisco.
This is the screen pass. I want you to watch the pressure on Steve Young. He said he was going to take a hit. He took a hit there. Only problem, the ball's out. Great call by Marty Mornowake, the offensive coordinator. These 2 guys get hits. That's key. Gogan's out front. Dahlman's out front. They've been running the same thing all game long, Tom. Same 2 guys getting out on the screen, and they've been getting blocked.
Hurst and Floyd in the backfield. Floyd will get into the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco.
I think Williams going home.
For Floyd, his first rushing touchdown of the season. But the 82-yard screen pass to Kirby made it all happen.
Huge play. And that's a prime example of how one play can turn a game.
Anderson for the point after, and it's good to make it 35-21 49ers. And that young man,
that's who got the ball.
Good for him.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to fly. By Isuzu, builders of the completely reinvented 1998 Isuzu Rodeo. Isuzu, go farther. And by HBO. It's not TV, it's HBO.
Young and the 49ers in search of their 6th straight win. They lead 35-21. Tommy Thompson kicks it away this time. And Hanspard has room. And Thompson shoves him out of bounds near midfield.
Tommy Thompson has had a real busy day. He's getting rough and having to make possibly touchdown-saving tackles. He's earned his money this trip.
45 yards on the return.
Yeah, this is one thing they like about Hanspard. He's been able to get through the creases and make some plays on special teams. Ooh, nice forearm to the face.
Very good field position for the Falcons. Almost an entire quarter left to play. You see they've done nothing on the ground, and most of their damage in the air. Trying on the ground again. A little better yardage this time for Jamal Anderson. He's out to midfield, a gain of 4. Right now, McDonald's game break time. Let's return to James Brown in our Fox Television Center.
Tom and Ron, can you believe it? Against Washington today, that young man there, Eddie George, not only 2 touchdowns, but he's gained 190 yards against the Redskins, 28-14. Make that 109. Still big yards. Back to Tom and Ron.
Oh, Ronnie, we remember we had the game for Philadelphia a week after they ran for 203 yards against the Redskins.
Eddie George should just get his Hawaiian outfit ready.
Second down and Chandler to throw. Wide open is Ed West, the tight end.
Whoa.
First down to the San Francisco 37. Gain of 13 for West.
Well.
And Chandler's hurt.
There's a hit there. Junior Bryant. Now Dolman come in. You know, you talk about roughing the passer. At what point do they call that stuff? And he gets slinged down after the throw is made.
Chandler is not moved. He's hit on 15 of 29, 230 yards and a couple of touchdowns. There's Billy Joe Tolliver, the backup.
Billy Joe Tolliver, when he's gotten in, he's been able to move the team. Unfortunately, he gets in the worst situations. But he has shown some signs of productivity.
Well, we remember, and we told you earlier, Tolliver started the game against San Francisco in the first meeting. And there you see some of the hits taken by Chandler today.
Hurries just tell you that a hit is imminent. You're about to be clocked.
So we'll take a break. Tolliver to replace Chandler for Dan Reeves. When we come back, Atlanta down 14. Now, dazed and confused Chris Chandler. He started 5 games this season. He's had to leave 3 of them early. He's only completed 2 games that he started this season, once with a concussion on this turf against Oakland.
And I think what happens here is his head hits the turf. Dolman came in late. Now Junior Bryant's going to make the initial hit. All right, I don't think that does much, because watch that right there. That's what I think did it. When the ref standing right there, you know, you wonder at what point things are roughing the passer, they get called sometimes they look like and they don't get called.
So Billy Joe Tolliver now comes into the game. He comes out throwing the long ball and an open receiver. Just overthrown to Terrence Mathis. It should have been 6.
Boy, you know, if Chandler's in the game and, you know, he's warmed up, he's used to the feel. But this is a great out and up by Terrence Mathis. Oh. If Chandler's in the game, maybe he's used to the feel of Terrence Mathis. He can get the touch on it. Amazing thing about it is Atlanta's getting behind people, and they're in a 2 tight end offense right now. They were last 2 plays.
2nd and 10 at the San Francisco 37, and a bullet delivered into the arms of Mathis, who hangs on this time down to the 30. A gain of close to 7. It'll bring up 3rd down. Well, we'll call it a gain of 8. 3rd and 2.
Mathis, a guy that was a star in the run and shoot offense down here, has over 7,000 yards complete offense and receiving. Look at Chandler getting scoped out there. Mathis has been involved more this game. I think he's been involved all year long.
Came in with just 17 receptions on the season. Today has 6.
You hear him say, watch the game.
Anderson denied the 1st down. Zach Bronson, the rookie out of McNeese, stayed up to make the tackle.
Huge play by Zach Bronson, because they had a run blitz on, and Jamal Anderson had split the initial wave. Bronson doesn't make that tackle. It's going to be a long game for Jamal Anderson. Good aggressiveness coming down, making the play.
And a 4th down, Ronnie, they're going.
They have to. You have to. Down by 2, you got to go.
4th down and 3. They need to get to the 27, and time is called by San Francisco. So perhaps the biggest play of the game upcoming for Atlanta. Chris Chandler knocked out of the game. Billy Joe Tolliver has come on to replace him. Tim McDonald has just checked back in as well for the 49ers. A 4th down and 3 coming up at the San Francisco 30. 3 receivers to the top here, screen. 49ers showing blitz. They don't come. Tolliver throws. Incomplete through the hands of Mathis.
Right through his hands. Granted, the ball's thrown behind him a little bit, but that looks like Drakeford down.
So the 4th down attempt stalls the drive.
Mathis is going to run a little turn out. That ball's got to be caught. You know, you're sitting in 4th down, 3 yards to go. He catches it. They move the chains.
Drakeford still down on the turf. Gives us a moment to tell you about next week, another great week of Fox NFL Sunday, starting with America's most watched pregame show. Then don't miss the Dallas Cowboys against the Philadelphia Eagles, plus other exciting regional action. Coverage begins noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, right here on Fox. Check local listings for the game and time in your area.
The DBs for the 49ers, they've been doing some running this week. I tell you. There have been about 5 or 6 deep throws. When I go back to that last one, the last overthrow to Mathis. That was close.
That was Tolliver's first throw after checking in for Chandler, who we're told has a slight concussion. We more than likely will not see him again today.
It's got to be run time now.
You got it. Garrison Hurst off the left side and lunges ahead for a gain of close to 3. Garrison Hurst closing in on the 100-yard rushing mark today. 16 rushes, for 93 yards. His best game, of course, came against Carolina when Garrison Hurst carried 28 times for 144 yards. Fake to Floyd. And they throw to the tight end, Greg Clark, his first reception of the game. He'll be 2 yards short of the first down. Now it's William White who's injured. Well, let's go back to the last 49er possession. Facing 3rd and long, and this to Terry Kirby.
And we talked about the key blocks outside by Dahlman and Gogan. Yeah, that's just having the right call at the right time. And then executing the call.
And that was the longest pass play in the history of the San Francisco 49ers. 82 yards that did not go for a touchdown.
Wow.
And William White, the 10-year strong safety out of Ohio State, has to leave the game.
And here's Steve after he threw that ball. Screen for the touchdown, or almost touchdown. Guy earns his pay, I would say.
It hurt so bad he couldn't even watch. Third and a yard. Kirby.
Owezeke moved early. Young was trying to tell him something.
That would be his second mistake in the last 2 possessions. He had the hold, which set up the 3rd and long before the
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 89, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Ihani Owezeke, 2nd-year receiver out of Cal.
He said that very nice.
Well, you got to get one right every now and then. Well, he had a big game last week, returned 6 punts for 63 yards, forced a fumble, recovered a fumble on special teams, even had a catch. 3rd and 6. With 10:25 to play in the game, they swing it out to Floyd, who makes a nice catch and is very close to a first down, depending on the spot Michael Booker delivered the hit.
Well, you know William Floyd's going to put his head down. That's going to be a load. He sees the marker. It's all about who ate the meat and potatoes the night before. You can hear the sidelines saying that's the way to lower your head, Big Daddy.
Floyd is a load at 245 pounds. Had a serious knee injury back in '95. Came back last season, and he has enough for a first down.
One thing Steve Mariucci talked about coming into this game is that we are not consistent on offense. Well, maybe he's right, but this offense, without Jerry Rice and without Brent Jones, still can make big plays when they have to have them. That's what I've seen in this game.
Derek Deese again back on the bench with an injury to his right ankle. Frank Pollock has stayed in the game at right tackle.
Yeah, and people.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 61, 5-yard penalty, first down.
49ers getting a little sloppy.
Jesse Zappulo, the only player in NFL history to come back and play after having heart surgery. Had a valve replaced last year, and a lot of people expected him to retire. He told me the reason I came back, I wanted the kids out there in the country who have heart problems and all over the world to know that they can come back and still do it, that they can do whatever they want to do. I think the 49ers are glad they brought him back.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's had an amazing career. 11th round draft pick. 11th round back in '83. Garrison Hurst on the ground. And gains 3.
You know, sometimes I wonder, they say, you know, everybody said when Montana left that the system would falter, and they said without Jerry it would falter, and it's been some chinks, but the system's pretty darn good. Because as long as they have number 8 in there, number 8 knows the importance of spreading the ball around. He said something important: nameless, faceless opponents. It's not who you play. You don't get caught up into that. You worry about your job and doing what you do best. And that carries a lot of weight.
Said he learned that from Ronnie Lott. Garrison Hurst again cuts it back to the inside, and he's out to the 47-yard line.
Speaking of carrying a lot of weight, Kevin Gogan coming around the corner at well over 3 bills.
Well over.
Gogan in the beginning of the season said, "I hate to pull. I hate pulling." You know, here's a guy coming from the Raiders in Dallas, used to the straight ahead stuff, but now he's on the perimeter. Look at that. Blam.
And that leads the way for Garrison Hurst, who's now gone over 100 yards rushing in a game. They can't even see Hurst behind Gogan. Broken play there, it looked like. And Young taken to the deck by Cornelius Bennett.
Boy, this defense for Atlanta loses weight every game because they are on the field so much. This is a busted play. Now they got to take the hits.
Ripped it looked like over his center Dolman. 7:35 to play in the game. And Atlanta still with a fighting chance, down by 14. Tommy Thompson hangs it up there.
Kent's going to take this one.
From the 15, and he throws the other way. And this could go.
He's going to get caught.
Ray Buchanan at midfield. Boy, if that ball comes a little bit quicker, who knows? Buchanan has a chance. It turns into a 36-yard return on a little razzle-dazzle.
Joe DeCamillis, the special teams coach right there. Hey, he knows what the score is. He knows what time it is. You can't play vanilla football. The trick is that Kitchen's got to sell it here and then throw the backwards pass. And it's got to be backward. It can't be forward.
And there's Tommy Thompson again. You talked about his day.
Tommy Thompson's going to go get a neck roll in a minute.
Blitz coming. Tolliver hangs in there.
Another high ball.
And a penalty flag comes in. That was interference. There was contact made by Merton Hanks. He climbed over Santiago.
Boy, did they pick up that blitz. It looked like Ken Norton came snorting up in there. And now Merton is trying to say uncatchable ball. I think that's what he's trying to say. And that's what they got to be talking about. Was that ball catchable?
Well, you got to throw it about 4 floors up for Santiago not to have a chance to
I'm
get
telling you, this guy here, he's 6'6", and you're
No
overthrowing.
infraction on the play. The pass is ruled incomplete.
And Dan Reeves is lit.
Incomplete. But they didn't say non-catchable ball. They're just saying incomplete.
Well, we know how Dan Reeves feels about the officiating.
No, you know what? I think that's a good play by Merton Hanks. He comes up and gets a hand on the ball. That's a good play. Whoa.
Roy Barker started early. He's saying
he's pointing at Willig.
Yeah, but Willig drew him off.
False start, offense, 77, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Matt Willick, a converted defensive lineman in college. They started off with Anton Davis at the right tackle position. Not happy with that. I still don't know if they're happy with it.
Second and 15. Oliver throws too tall for the intended receiver, Brennaman. I understand the officials have let us know that on that call a moment ago, one official said it was pass interference. The other came in and overruled, and they went with a call. After discussing things with Larry Nemmers, that the flag would not stand.
Boy, Billy Joe he has not helped matters at all. He's throwing these elevator balls.
Oliver is hit on 1 of 5 for 8 yards since coming into the game, and he missed on a sure touchdown throw. And he wants the bundle. And again, way too high, and Kinchin slammed to the deck, and they're going to call a penalty on Tim McDonald. He delivered a blow to Kinchin after it looked like the pass was well incomplete.
Before each pass, Billy Joe should drop to his knees and throw it. They can make up for that height difference.
Man. Personal foul for a late hit after the pass was incomplete, number 46. That's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It's hard to resist those shots when you're a safety. You see a guy strung out like that. You know, it's funny, in the days of when Jack Tatum and George Atkinson played, they wouldn't have called this. But nowadays, that gets called. Plus, it's to the head, so.
And you have a man who's in a vulnerable position, defenseless position.
In defenseless position, exactly right. That's another thing I know Jack Tatum appreciates. Talk about guys in defenseless position.
Jamal Anderson still on his feet, and he's down to the 32. With 6:45 to go, the Falcons need points in a hurry, trailing by 14. Dallas leading Jacksonville late. Likewise for the Jets over New England.
Philly.
Seattle, a big win on the road at St. Louis. Some of the other scores around the NFL. Carolina, much needed win over New Orleans. Tennessee finishes off Washington. Oliver finds Emmanuel, first down to the 26. Oliver, originally a San Diego Charger, traded to Atlanta. Started 9 games in 3 years, and in '94 left as a free agent to Houston. Wound up in the Canadian Football League with Shreveport when Atlanta brought him back. And you see his numbers after taking over for Chandler, who had a mighty gutty performance here today. He was knocked out of the game with a concussion.
They're in that 34 defense again.
Thrown behind the intended receiver, Santiago, who looked open. Boy, it's been talked about a lot, Ron. Concussions on quarterbacks.
That's funny. That's another thing. You know, there was a time when they didn't used to talk about concussions, and all of a sudden, the last couple of years here, everybody's worried about a concussion. Quarterbacks have been getting concussions for a long time now. This is not some new phenomenon to pop up. Back when guys like Bradshaw and Monica's played, they were getting cracked all the time. But
Protection. Dumps it off to Anderson. He's down to the 20, a gain of 6. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4. Clock continues to run down to 5:20. And Atlanta doesn't appear to be in any kind of hurry to get into the huddle and then get it up to the line of scrimmage.
They need to be, because they need a score quick. Probably in a position you got to think about an onside. I don't know. You got time left. And that all depends on how fast they score or don't score here.
They're at the 49er, 19-yard line. shotgun. Looking around.
He's going to run it.
Yep. First down and more. Tolliver down to the 7. Tackled by Hanks.
Billy Joe Tolliver is definitely a run and gunner. I mean, he's not afraid to pull it down and run. You talk to Bob Whitfield about him. He says Billy Joe definitely fell off the pickle truck a couple times. But that's exactly what this team needs right now.
Clock continues to run down to 4:11. And Atlanta trailing by 14. They have 2 timeouts remaining, so too do the 49ers. Play fake, Christian out of the backfield. Touchdown.
They got a flag.
Came in.
There's a flag. Willick took his helmet off.
And then realized that's a penalty.
It's amazing how quick guys get the helmet back on.
Oh, yeah.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 77, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's one of the new rules this year. The officials are going to be more. They're going to call hands to the face by offensive linemen a lot faster than they did in the years previous. Willick right there. And he's got a hand in Stubblefield's face. There's no doubt about that. Boy, that happens so much, Tom.
Boy, they move him back 10 yards all the way to the 17. First and goal.
Wow, what a blitz pickup.
Incomplete. Good coverage. Batted down by Rod Woodson. And now a flag comes in late. Boy, they're all over the place.
And this is one of the things that Rod Woodson has complained about for a long time. He really thinks the officials are out to get him. He says of 75% of the calls, or of 100% of the calls, 75% of them are okay. The other 25% are completely bogus against me.
Defensive pass interference. Number 26, first down.
He thinks he's a marked man out there.
But let me ask you a question, Ron, in all honesty. Well, we'll take a look at the play first.
And you know, for a guy that plays like Woodson, you know, he's a very aggressive corner. Boy, I don't see it.
But let me ask you this.
I don't see it. And I'll tell you why I don't see it. The hand on the back did not prevent Santiago from making the catch. Boy, that's tough.
But, you know, I hear guys say this stuff all the time. They're out to get me. I mean, why in the world would an official be out to get
I'll tell you why.
Woodson?
Because early in your career, if you badmouth a couple of them, they remember that. And if you do it a lot game after game after game, you get a reputation. That's why.
But is there a reputation about great players getting the benefit of the doubt on a lot of calls around the league? This guy was on the 75th anniversary team.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Does Michael Jordan get called for traveling a lot?
Never. That's the point I'm making. I mean, are they out to get Woodson?
You know, hey, forget the 75th anniversary deal. I mean, what does that mean to them? You know, if you keep bad-mouthing people, and I don't know if he does or not, that's just what you hear. That's what they say. To me, the guy plays aggressive style of corner. He's the kind of guy you want on your team.
Absolutely.
I thought that was a good football play. And when he goes and watches the meeting, John Marshall, defensive coordinator, is going to say, that's a great football play. Don't change how you play.
Second and goal. Tolliver rolling in trouble.
They drop.
And down he goes.
The 49ers drop Chris Dolman, and they got a fight going on.
Oh, do they ever. Down at the 4-yard line. Flags all over the place. Number 91, Kevin Green, and number 70, Bob Whitfield. Of course, Green spent some time in big-time wrestling, professional wrestling.
And you know, these guys have been against each other before. Green with Carolina the last year. You know, they've played each other before.
And they still want a piece of one another.
Big Whit.
Whitfield ain't hiding from him.
What did Big Whit say? Big Whit said, hey, guy beats me, I'm going to cut him.
Bob Whitfield has been an outstanding player since being a first-round pick in '92.
Dolman is still standing on the goal line. He was so proud of his drop in the secondary. He's still standing there. Look at Doman up here. He wants to make sure that gets on film, that he got in the right spot on that zone drop, that zone blitz. All right, and what are you going to do? Not throw one guy out?
Personal foul on number 91 of the defensive team for entering a scuffle late with a personal foul. It was after the ball was out of bounds. We'll go half the distance, automatic first down.
All the action took place about 20 yards on the other side of the field from where the ball was.
Entering a scuffle late. So I guess you have to enter the scuffle on time.
Whitfield's a tough guy, isn't he?
And he's a guy who, like, legally blind in one eye, his right eye, and Mason can play that left tackle position so well for so long.
Automatic first down, first and goal at the 5.
Yeah, the clock got him. Ooh. He
got
just
the
got that
timeout.
one off.
3:03 left. San Francisco leading by 14. And Steve Mariucci giving Green an earful.
Is brought to you by Porsche, who wish to remind you there is no substitute.
Back in the Georgia Dome. Second down. Or rather, first and goal, they're saying.
Atlanta spent a long time down here at this end of the field.
After the timeout, trying to get in quickly and give themselves one more chance. Tolliver loses the ball.
That's a fumble.
Dana Stubblefield jarred it loose with a hit.
Did they get it back?
Wow. And Atlanta able to recover the fumble.
His arm's not in motion. No parts of that. That's a pure fumble. Robbie Quebec gets the ball back. Let's watch his arm. Yeah, his arm is down, hanging at the side. Good job by Robbie Tobek.
Boy, and the Falcons huddling up, trailing by 14 points with 2.5 minutes left to go. Oliver steps up, ball knocked out of his hand and picked up by Harold Green. The ball was stripped away by Roy Barker.
Tom, you make a good point. Huddling up. They, when they don't have their starting quarterback, they got their backup, not feeling comfortable with a hurry-up offense, obviously.
We've reached a 2-minute warning. Concussion, Billy Joe Tolliver has come on in his absence. It's 3rd and goal at the San Francisco 17. 35-21, 49ers in front.
Seems like Atlanta's been down here for an eternity.
Tolliver steps up. Throws, catch made by Michael Haynes.
He didn't get out. He didn't get out. They're going to wind it.
Clock still running.
Now they got to hurry it up. Still, like you say, Tom, they're just kind of slowly getting guys on.
And they're huddling up with 1:40. For the life of me, you'd think this was a pee-wee football team right now. I mean, I'm serious. The 1:40 left in the game, you're down 14 points. 1.5 minutes left, and you're huddling up.
There are some pee-wee teams that are running 2-minute offenses. No huddle now.
4th and goal. And Tolliver throws into the end zone. Touchdown. That was a beauty.
What a fit.
Into Mathis. Clock stops, 1:16 left before this point after.
In order for this play to work, Mathis, he's got to get open, number one, but Tolliver's got to get a clean look. Watch this. I mean, that's what you really call threading it. Mathis has been the guy today. Look at it. Look at the clean look. Bam, bam. Right down the throwing lane. A lot of time spent on that in the pregame show. Tolliver, not a real tall guy. You know, it's like giving Michael Jordan a look at the basket in a three-pointer. You give a quarterback a good look, and he can make the throw.
Well, the point after is good by Morton Anderson, which brings Atlanta to within 7.
Yeah, and it's offside time, onside time now.
Gives us a moment to tell you this game presented by authority of the NFL, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Atlanta Falcons and the National Football League is prohibited. You know, Lonnie, you talked about it time after time on that drive, and it seemed like they were there forever. There were 3 or 4 plays, it seemed like, where they huddled up rather than getting to the line of scrimmage, and maybe understand the 4th down play before a big call, but they may have burned as many as a minute and a half, 2 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, you know, now with 1 timeout left, you wonder maybe more time on the clock. They play well on defense, get a turnover, they might have time to go back down, but you know, that's not the game now. They've burned so much, you got to go onside.
Dan Reeves forced to use his backup quarterback, Billy Joe Tolliver, and you see this NFL success rate for an onside kick.
One thing they've been working on is a real high chopper. And you always got to watch the fake kick from the other side. But Morton in practice got real good height on that ball in his kick.
There is a high chopper. And a penalty flag is down. Fielded cleanly by 41 Terry Kirby.
What a clean field.
Atlanta saying the penalty is against San Francisco.
Only thing it could be is offside San Francisco. That's an illegal block. It's got to be offside.
The receiving team was offside on the kickoff.
Wow.
That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
What is he doing? Is he in another game that we're not in? Who is that? Who was that? Wow. George Stewart, special teams coach for the 49ers. You know, he's pulling his hair out about now. Not that he has a whole lot to pull out, but look at him going crazy.
Wants Rod Woodson to change places with Merton Hanks and get to the other side.
Boy, this is the kind of stuff that keeps plenty of acid in your locker when you're a special teams coach.
So here comes another one.
Oh, they're way offside.
And it's caught by Atlanta.
Yeah, but Atlanta's way offside. They are so far offside.
Boy, Anderson's got that chopper down.
I'm telling you, he's got that high chopper in the infield. Hard to feel that baby and throw to first.
Bolden recovered the onside kick, and we'll find out if we have an Atlanta offsides call.
The kicking team, number 54, was offside in the kickoff. That's a 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
Ruffin Hamilton.
So it's even at one apiece on the call, but now, whew, just a bit offside. So now,
well, we're back to where we started, Mr. Pitts.
Well, Atlanta has to be onside this kick.
Well, that is a deadly chopper that Morton Anderson. He plenty of hang time, as you brought up, Ronnie, originally, way up in the air.
You got to cheat up on the third base line to get that bad boy.
Right. Well, let's see here.
Man.
All set up on the near side of the field of the Falcons for this third try.
There it is, another high.
Look out. He's loose. And Atlanta has the football. to play. Boy, Morton Anderson, he ought to patent that.
We know we saw it in practice. Watch how high this ball goes. Watch the distance these guys cover while the ball's in the air. And if you can get to that point, that's what you want. It's anybody's ball. Rod Woodson was in there. He's a hands guy, but you know what? I don't think it matters what kind of hands you got, Tom, because you're trying to catch a ball at an awkward level. I mean, that ball is way up in the air.
So now, Atlanta, a minute 11 left, one timeout. They could probably use a minute and a half they burned on the last drive, but we'll see. Tolliver drops it off. Harold Green spins his way out to the 42.
Now they got to get on the ball quick, and they haven't gotten on the ball quick the last couple plays. Well, this is when they need all that time, like you mentioned, that they burned earlier.
Atlanta down 7. We're under a minute. Tolliver steps up, throws, and off the hands of the intended receiver, Brennaman.
Great play, Darnell Walker. He's trying to complain interference on the receiver. Hey, Darnell Walker has stepped in with Marquez Pope out and played some very good football. Right back here. I mean, actually, Brennaman puts a hand back. That's a good call. Good play by Walker.
45 ticks remain. And you see Atlanta with one timeout. They're at their own 43.
Remember, Kitchen had a big play for him.
Thrown that time, and again, very good coverage by Darnell Walker on Brennaman. Fourth down.
You like the aggressiveness on the outside by the corners. You might be wondering if you might be setting them up for an out and up when they're playing the outs that tough. They still got that one timeout sitting up there.
But they have
now they got to move. They got to move 6 yards. Forget the timeout.
Call it 4th down and 7. They have to get to the 49-yard line. And Tolliver in trouble. Down he goes. Kevin Green picks a fine time to get his first sack of the season.
Boy, he just bull rushed Matt Willick. We talked about that right tackle position. A lot of changing going on over there. He's been quiet all year long, all game long, but when they really need it, right here, there's a matchup. Watch the leverage that Green gets. Look at, he's got Willick on his heels. Whenever you can get a tackle back on his heels, he's yours.
Kevin Green turned loose by Carolina after a long contract dispute. Steve Mariucci and Green exchanged words on the sidelines earlier, and Mariucci says, okay, all is well now with you, Kevin Green, after that sack.
It wasn't well before.
No, it was not.
On that one.
49ers will win their 6th straight game. First time they've done that since 1995. And Atlanta, another tough loss. Been that kind of season. Lost their opener to Tampa Bay. They struggled in a win over St. Louis. They reeled off 4 in a row that weren't even close, and a tight one here today in a 7-point victory over Atlanta. Let's take a look at our Energizer play of the game. After a penalty moved them back, it was 3rd and 19 for San Francisco, and then this.
We keep showing it. We keep talking about the screen play. Always been a great play in this offense. Today, it really did a lot.
That went for 82 yards to Terry Kirby, setting the tone for another San Francisco touchdown. Again, the 82 yards, the longest pass completion by the 49ers that did not go for a touchdown in the franchise's history. We'll be back to the Georgia Dome after this commercial and a word from your local Fox station.